Thank you for logging on to the Voice Sports Network for this broadcast of high school sports. We encourage you to go to the games and support your area teams. We know you have a choice, and thank you for choosing us. This broadcast wouldn't be possible without the support of the sponsors you hear throughout the game. We encourage you to visit their businesses and use their service as often as possible. Be sure to tell them thanks for their support. Now, sit back and enjoy the game, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And good evening and welcome to a groggy-looking day here at Bruin Field in Hartford City, Indiana. The Bruins are playing host to the Rossville Hornets, who are still taking infield today, at this time. And while they're doing that, I think we're in kind of a bit of a hurry-up mode. We're just going to play the national anthem real quick over the intercom once they're done with their infield, and we're going to get this game going. As I said, it's a little overcast. Hartford City got a little bit of rain today, not enough to keep the Bruins off the field. I seen the coach and a couple of the assistant coaches out here really working that dirt into the field so that we could be able to play, and the field looks great for right now. There is more rain forecast, but we're hoping to get this whole 7 innings in. The Bruins starting two pitchers today, or the Bruins with their starting pitcher today is Peyton Hurd, who finished out yesterday and took the loss to Adams Central. Hurd with a 4.29 ERA and 16 strikeouts on the season is going to be going up against Price. I believe it's Evan Price for the Hornets, who has a 1.91 ERA with 13 strikeouts. And we'll get into the lineups here a little bit later, but now I want to introduce my ever-popular co-host with the fans out there, Vince Brown. How you doing today, Vince?
Okay, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Okay, as far as I know, Blackford's never played Rossville in any sports since the history of Blackford, and Rossville's over on 26 by Lafayette. Rossville Hornets come in a record of 14-9. Blackford, with the loss yesterday, drops to 10-15. So the pitchers tonight, as Steve said, is Peyton Hurd starting for Blackford, and I believe Evan Price is starting for Rossville.
That is correct. And I'll go ahead and get into the Blackford lineups, Vince, and
yes,
then we're still waiting on one of the players' first names, and once we get that, we'll go ahead and get into the Rossville Hornets lineup as well. We do have the last name of the player and the position that he's playing, just not his first name, as he's not on our program. And so starting off for the Bruins tonight, Shane Elam's out in center field, batting first. Batting second, Braxton Strait, who was sick last night, and that's why he didn't get the start. Didn't make the trip. He'll be at shortstop. Caleb Mealy, the catcher, batting cleanup. Dayton Dow out in left field. Blaine Riddle on second. Jake Ross on third. Drew Caldwell out in right field tonight instead of the middle infield. Kyle Price actually getting the designated hitter spot tonight for Tyler Cagle at first base. And as we've already said, Peyton Hurd rounding out the lineup and pulling pitching duties. And we do have a name for the that final player and a number, and we'll go ahead and get into that. Vince, do you want to get that, or you want me to do it?
You can do it.
All right, I'll get on to it. Batting first for the Hornets, number 14, Dawson Jacoby, out on shortstop. Evan Price is the pitcher, as we said, with that nice ERA of a 1.91 on the season. Batting in the third slot, Kelton Saylor in center field. Batting cleanup for the Hornets is Colton Beard, the catcher. Adam Terrell in the fifth slot on first base. Getting the DH start, Nolan Starkey for Reed Douglas out in left field. Mark Soyseth is your third baseman. Batting in the eighth slot, Gabe Grizzle on second base. And finishing out the lineup for the Hornets, Ben Rodkey out in right field. The umpires and the coaches are going through their meetings at this time out on the home plate. We did get this started just a little bit early. And I believe we're going to have the national anthem, and then we're going to go into our keys of the game with Vince, and we'll be back right after this.
Locally owned Straits Drywall and Paint, LLC, owned by Jeff and Aubrey Strait, have 30 years of experience in commercial and residential painting and drywall finishing. Straits Drywall and Paint can do anything from new construction to remodels. Does your home need a new touch of color inside or out? Call Jeff or Aubrey at 765-499-9416 for a free quote. Straits Drywall and Paint, LLC. Insured painters with the professional skills necessary to complete your project on time and within budget.
And we're back, Vince. Do you have those keys to the games ready for us?
Well, unfortunately, Blackford lost yesterday on a last inning walk-off when the bases were loaded. I think two of them were put on intentionally, and a ground ball was hit to the second baseman and couldn't make the play. The winning run scored. But I thought overall last night we played a pretty well-played game defensively. We still make too many mistakes.
Too many errors on the field, absolutely. We definitely have to limit the errors. What about offensively?
And offensively, looked like Coach Hugan was trained to bunt some yesterday, and we just wouldn't go after the outside pitch that was slow, and sometimes those are hard to bunt when you get rung up for strikes. You know, it takes away your bunting game.
Absolutely. So the Bruins have to get their bunt game on and actually lay some bunts down when we need it so that we can move those runners in advance.
Yes.
Get them into scoring position for the next batter at the plate. Anything else for the keys of the game?
Well, this Peyton Hurd needs to pitch a really well game like he has before as a starter. Yesterday coming in relief, looks like he struggled a little bit, but he pitched pretty well, really. The only runners that I can remember reaching base were mostly the ones that were intentionally walked.
Right.
So.
Yeah, the Hornets definitely have some decent-looking batting averages on their lineup. I got a chance to look on Max Preps before the game. I got here early and got on there and looked at a couple of them, and I see a 342, a 421, and a 450. And a 452 with a 387 and a 308 as well. So the Hornets definitely know how to get the bats put on the ball, and let's hope that the Bruins can do that as well. So the Bruins definitely need to get something going here today and try to at least salvage a little bit of this season and get closer to that 500 mark.
Yes, Rossville comes in again 14-9. Their head coach is Brad Scott. The assistants are John Jacoby, Matt Darnell, Trevor Wagner, Jared Steelwell, and Matthew Homco. I think that's it. Homco. And Blackford, the head coach again is Tony Hugan. Assistant coaches are Bob Banner and Scott Cagle. And Jim Landis and Orville Hugan are the assistant scorekeepers.
Right.
Tonight's umpires are Michael Parker and Joe Spalding. Did you say that was Joe Spalding behind the plate?
I believe that's what we had. No, Joe Spalding's out in the field, I believe.
Okay, Joe Spalding will be the base umpire, and Michael Parker will be the home plate umpire.
And the Bruins out in the field warming up, and the Bruins are going to be in black with gray pants. The Hornets are going to be in red jerseys and white pants, some of them wearing the old style. Well, it looks like most of them wearing the old style pants that come just to the knees with the stirrup socks below the knees. So I always like that look. I never did like the long pants look, but so far out on the mound, Peyton Hurd looking fairly decent with his warm-up pitches. So let's go to one more quick break, and when we come back, we'll come back with the game.
Okay.
The Voice of Blackford County Community Newspaper is your hometown newspaper with a staff that takes great pride in covering local community events in Hartford City and Montpelier. Available at newsstands in Hartford City at Needler's Fresh Market, Food and Fuel, John's Service Station, Northside Florist, and in Montpelier at Koffels Family Market, Carrie's Restaurant, and Charlie's Sunoco, with more locations coming soon. The Voice of Blackford County is published every Tuesday with a cost of only $1 or a yearly subscription for $35. You'll find school-related events, obituaries, public records info, church news, community calendar, and so much more. Contact Annie at 765-251-4903 or Ann at 765-330-4842. The Voice.
And we're back. Had to cut that commercial just a little bit short as the first pitch is getting ready to come out of the Hurd's hand, and that one's going to be right on the upper edge of the strike zone for the first strike of the game by Peyton. An 0-1 count now for the leadoff batter, Dawson Jacoby. Hurd pitches a breaking ball that hangs up way high. And for now a 1-1 count. And Hurd's going to put another one right down the middle, and Jacoby lays off of it. Jacoby with a .421 batting average, getting on base .489, 16 hits and 5 RBIs on the season. And Hurd's just going to miss on the outside, a good place to miss for the fourth pitch. Now a 2-2 count for Jacoby. Hurd out of the windup, delivers that one, and it's going to be fouled back, and Jacoby's going to stay with a 2-2 count.
Yes, the first pitch was thrown at 6:08. Game time temperature 70 degrees. A wind from the north at 12 mile an hour.
And Hurd with the 2-2 count, now delivering the windup, and that one's just going to miss on the low side, and now Hurd has a full count on Jacoby. I heard again with the pitch, and Jacoby's going to foul this one off. It was a little bit too high to be swinging at, and should have been a ball 4 walk, but Hurd getting lucky with him swinging at that high pitch.
Well, early in the game, you got to protect yourself because you don't know for sure where the strike zone is going to be for the umpires.
Absolutely.
High, low, or...
And he does it again, swinging at another little bit of a high pitch, and now the umpire's down to his last ball. Still a 3-2 count on Jacoby, who's battling to stay at the plate against Hurd. And look for Hurd to throw some sort of off-speed or curveball. Nope, he throws a fastball, and Jacoby's again going to foul it off.
Pretty good battle between the pitcher Hurd and the batter Jacoby.
Absolutely. I believe we're on the 7th pitch for Hurd right now with a 3-2 count. And Jacoby's going to get a hold of this one. It's a high fly ball, and I believe Straight's going to get up underneath of it, and that's going to be the first out as the Bruins retire the first batter with a fly out to the shortstop, Braxton Straight.
Nice play by Braxton Straight. A big out, getting the first batter out of the ball game. 8
pitches for the first batter of the ball game is not the way you want to start off as a pitcher, but getting the out is definitely a welcomed product. And up to the plate now, we're going to have Evan Price, the pitcher, and Hurd throws a breaking ball that just hangs way outside.
And like Steve said at the beginning of the broadcast, they got their pants right around their knees with their socks with the stripes in them. You can see at the bottom of them. And
swing and a miss by Price. Now a 1-1 count as Price is batting a .450 on the season.
That is good.
A .560 on base percentage. 9 hits, 3 RBIs as Hurd puts this one just a little bit too low. And now Price has a 2-1 count.
When you wear your pants up, right around the knee level, that gives the umpire good luck at the knees. Where if you're in the long pants like Blackford, he has to estimate.
And this is a ground ball over to Riddle. Riddle fields it nice and clean, throws it over to Tyler Cagle, and that's going to be 2 up, 2 down for the Bruins as the defense is looking solid right now in the beginning of the game.
Yes, we've made 2 fine plays for 2 outs, and center fielder Kelton Saylor is batting.
Kelton Saylor batting a .257 on the season with a .381 on base percentage, 9 hits, 5 RBIs, and Hurd again not having any success with that breaking ball as every one of them is hung up and out to dry on him.
It looks like to me Peyton Hurd's more comfortable as a starting pitcher than as a reliever.
And Hurd with the second pitch, a fastball down the middle, and Saylor gets a hold of it and fouls it off. A 1-1 count now for Saylor. Batting in the third slot, and Beard out on the on-deck circle warming up. A swing and a miss by Saylor, and now he's down in the count 1-2.
Nice pitch by Peyton Hurd. Now we got 2 strikes on him. We got to finish him off.
Hurd still out of the windup, delivers that fastball, and this is going to be hit out into center field. Shane Elam waving his arms, runs over on the run and catches that pitch or that ball. And that's going to do it for the Hornets, and they're already almost pushing the Bruins off the field to take the field away from us. So here we are. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be back after this.
Dr. Malia Robertson of Clear Choice Chiropractic asks, do you suffer from neck pain while working, or do migraines keep you from enjoying your day? Do you have to take pain pills just to function? Does your baby cry constantly for no apparent reason? And most importantly, do you remember the last day you were pain-free? You don't have to live with these frustrations. The doctors at Clear Choice Chiropractic have many techniques to relieve the symptoms of neck and back pain, headaches, stiff joints, colic, earaches, and many other symptoms. Call for your appointment with Dr. Malia Robertson at Clear Choice Chiropractic, 765-329-5044. That's 329-5044. And take back your life and enjoy living pain-free. Located at 1501 North Walnut Street in Hartford City. Open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesdays, 3 to 6 p.m. Thursdays, 3 to 7 p.m. Closed Saturdays and Sundays. Clear Choice Chiropractic. We've got your back.
Well, Vince, the Bruins off to a good start. 3 up, 3 down. Looking solid on the defense. No errors. What do you have to say about that first inning?
That was a good way to start the game. Getting Dawson Jacoby out was a big batter that went 8-9 pitches.
Right.
He fouled a few of them off. Then Price bounced out to Riddle, and then Kelton Saylor flies out to Elam and made a nice running catch. So we're off to a good start. Now hopefully we can get a run or two the first inning. Last night I don't believe we scored until the fourth inning. I believe we scored our runs in the fourth. Or
our first runs came in the fourth. We scored 4 runs in the fourth and never scored again.
That was all we scored was 4 runs.
So leading off for the Bruins is going to be Shane Elam.
Yes.
Shane Elam for the season batting a .391 with a .500 on-base percentage, 25 hits, and 8 RBIs.
Shane's been the leadoff batter most of the season as far as I can remember.
Struggled a little bit last night as I would think he went 0 for 4, if I'm not mistaken.
I know he had a nice bunt.
Yes, he did have a nice bunt, but never reached 0 for 4 on the season. The first pitch comes in. I missed it. They are calling it a strike. An 0-1 count for Elam. That one's missing outside. A 1-1 count now for Elam as he's facing Price. The what I can determine is their ace pitcher with a 191 ERA.
And he's a southpaw. He throws left-handed.
Right. And Elam gets a hold of this one, fouls it straight back, and now he's with a 1-2 count.
Well, Shane's right on the pitch. He just needs to make solid contact and hopefully can find a hole out there in their defense. The infielders are playing really deep.
Right. And Elam is going to get a hold of one. It's a bouncing ball over to the shortstop. The shortstop, it takes a bad hop on him, and Elam's going to round first, and he's going to be safe.
I don't know really if that'd be an error or a hit. It's probably going to go down as an error.
I don't know if I would call that an error because it looked like it took a bad hop. It should have landed in his glove, but we will call it an E6.
Well, we can give Elam a base hit.
No, we can give him the base hit then.
Yes, we'll give him a base hit.
It looked like it took a soft hop off the lip, and he was expecting it to take a hard...
The infield's playing really deep.
Right. And now Price out of the stretch, delivers the pitch, and Straight tries to lay down a bunt, but fouls it off.
And there's another missed bunt opportunity by the Bruins. It looks like the pitcher and the catcher are setting up outside as they had here the past few games, trying to get that outside corner called.
Right. And a throw back to first, and Elam is just safe. A quick pick by the left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, and with the left-hander pitching, you got to make sure he's going to home before you get off there.
Absolutely.
Or you're an easy pick-off for him.
And Price out of the stretch, and he throws one high, and Elam's going to go, but this one's going to sail over to center field, and Elam's going to round second, going to third, and this is going to be a close play, and I think he's going to be out, and he is. A nice play by the center fielder who threw it to third to get Elam out, trying to extend that out. And I believe we have I know we have one strike, and just waiting for the umpire to see if he tells us what that last pitch was, but I believe it was going to be another strike, as I thought Straight at least attempted that.
I think
no, it's a 1-1 count, as the umpire just calls it.
I think Elam would be credited with the stolen base still in second, and throwing out 8-5, the center fielder Sailor to the third baseman Mark Zosiath. Is that how you pronounce that? Soyseth. And
that one's going to miss low, and Straight has now a 2-2 count facing the pitcher, Evan Price. So 1 out for the Bruins, still tied at nothing here in the bottom of the first inning, and Straight's going to get a hold of one. It's a high fly ball. It's going to be in the infield, the second baseman there to make the play for the second out of the inning.
Yes, that ball was hit like a major league pop-up, they call him. The second baseman, Gabe Grizzle, making a nice catch. Now there's 2 outs, and here's Caleb Mealy.
2 outs with Mealy at the plate. Mealy went 4 for 4, if I'm not mistaken, last night.
Mealy had a fine night at the plate. He didn't bring.
No, he went 3 for 3 with a walk.
Yes, that's good. We need him to get on base here.
And Mealy watches the first pitch go by, and it takes the umpire a few seconds to call it a strike. And now we have an 0-1 count with 2 outs on Mealy. Evans back out of the windup, and this umpire not giving that outside strike zone. Now a 1-1 count. Evans trying that outside again for a 2-1 count.
Good eye by Mealy, way outside. Again,
Evans delivers the pitch, and Mealy's going to drive one down the third base line, and this is going to be at least a stand-up double as it's going all the way to the fence, and Coach Ugan is going to hold Mealy up at second base, a stand-up double for the sophomore.
Nice hit right down the left field line, out in the left field corner. Coach Ugan was waving him all around. As soon as the ball was hit out there, Coach Banner sent him to second. Mealy in a stand-up double. Now Dayton Dow. Maybe Dayton can drive him in.
And now we have a left-handed batter up against a left-handed pitcher. And let's see Dayton Dow drive one out into right field just like Mealy did and get that first run on the board. And Evans out of the stretch again and finds that outside corner of the strike zone, an 0-1 count.
Yes, looks like that was on the outside corner. Good pitch, good call.
Dow batting a .339, on-base percentage of .442, 24 hits and 18 RBIs on the season. Evans delivers that one, and Riddle's going to hit a high fly ball, and it looks like this might be trouble. But the left fielder comes in, and he does not make the catch, and Mealy rounded third and came home. And that's going to be a single for Dayton Dow, and the Bruins are the first to strike, now leading 1-0. I don't know how you would score that, whether that would be a hit due to the shallowness of the...
Yes, I think so. He had to run a long ways to get a good glove on there.
He did get a glove on it, but it did not stay secured, and therefore Dow is safe. And now Blaine Riddle's up to the plate, and Riddle's going to drive one down the right field line, but it goes foul. An 0-1 count now for Riddle. Dow out on first. Evans still the pitcher, out of the stretch now, not the windup. And for this pitcher to have such a solid ERA, the Bruins are teeing off on him early on. Now Riddle with a 1-1 count.
We have 3 hits from the first 4 batters, and Straight popped up to second base for the out. The other out came when Elam was throwing out at third.
And he's going to try to pick off Dow, and Dow's back safe. And ball comes into the infield, and Riddle has to step out of the box to get it to the pitcher, or to the umpire.
And the lights are on. They've been on ever since we were taking infield.
A late start to the game starting at 6 o'clock due to Rossville having to take such a long trip, and Riddle's going to foul this one back, and now he's down 1-2 in the count.
As far as I can remember right off the top of my head, this again is the first meeting between these two schools in any,
right
sport that I can remember.
And I like that. I like the willingness to travel a little bit. And it looks like Dow's going to get hung out. And the ball gets thrown over the second baseman. And Coach Ugan does not look happy.
Well, Dayton Dow got a good jump on the ball. He was trying to steal. He was halfway there when he saw the catcher throw the ball down. He decided to go back. Fortunately for Rossville and unfortunately for Blackford, the ball was over the shortstop pad in center field.
Yes, and now Coach Ugan's standing with his hands on his hip, and he took his hat off and was saying some words to Dow about that one. And then Dow looks over at Bob Banner, and Bob was shaking his head yes, like, hey, you should have. I believe that was going to be a steal, and
yes,
he may have missed the sign. And Riddle now with a 3-2 count. Price still out of the stretch. Still the pitcher. The Bruins with 3 hits already this inning. And Riddle's going to foul another one off. And
Dow was running with the pitch, so that may have been a hit and run.
Well, we're at a 3-2 count, so it doesn't matter. He needs to go anyway.
Oh, yes, you're right. That's my fault. Yeah, 3 balls and 2 strikes, and you're forced off the base. You got to be running with the pitch. That is right.
And Price is going to throw Dow back again with the pickoff move.
Dow back easily standing up. So
right, Dow wasn't even off but a couple of steps. And Dow's running again, a swing and a miss by Riddle, and that's going to do it for this inning. We'll be back with the top of the second right after this words from our sponsors as the Bruins take the lead 1-0 over the Hornets.
While filling your car's fuel tank at Food and Fuel Marathon, fill your body's fuel tank too. Monday through Friday, grab a chicken or tenderloin sandwich, or have out a burger and potato wedges, or onion chips, mozzarella cheese sticks, and Bosco breadsticks. If biscuits and gravy are your thing, they're available every Monday through Saturday morning until they're gone. And you'll have to grab a Poppy's Extreme donut or two, available daily. Food and Fuel Marathon, 1621 North Walnut Street, Hartford City. Open Monday through Friday, 4:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Food and Fuel Marathon, fueling your vehicle and you.
If you're suffering from neck or back pain or suffering from migraines or you have a colicky baby, call Dr. Malia Robertson at Clear Choice Chiropractic. They have many techniques to relieve these and many more symptoms with chiropractic care. Located at 1501 North Walnut in Hartford City. And before we get going, Vince, the Lady Bruins traveling to Blue River Valley this evening, now up 14-2 in the top of the third inning.
Blackford is ahead.
Blackford is ahead, 14-2.
Okay, that's great news. They need to get a win.
Yeah, they're looking for just their third win on the season, so a nice outing for the Lady Bruins, and we wish them all the best and hope that they can hold on to that. But do you have a recap for us?
Well, in the inning, 1 run on 3 hits. Shane Elam opened the game with a single, stole second, and was thrown out trying to advance to third. Caleb Mealy, after straight, popped up to the second baseman, doubled. Dow singled. Riddle struck out for Evan Price, a first strikeout of the inning for him and of the game. So we go to the second inning. Blackford had 1-0. We got to hold them here in the second. And they're at hitters 4, 5, and 6 for Rossville.
And the cleanup batter is Beard, Colton Beard, batting a .342 on the season with a .435 on base percentage. And Hurd's going to hit this one, and they're calling that one Hurd pitches that one. Beard gets a hold of it down the third base line, and it lands just foul for the first strike.
The umpire singled foul as soon as it went by third base. The third base coach was pointing fair. That hit over the base.
It looked like it was really close. The Bruins get lucky with the call, though, as Hurd throws his second pitch, and that one's going to be just a little bit outside. Now a 1-1 count. The
way that goes on a ground ball, it's got to be, if it goes past third base fair, it doesn't make a difference where it goes, but it has to reach third base.
And that curved ball lands in the strike zone as Peyton Hurd has now finally found the groove on that breaking ball. And let's look for another one, see if he still has it. A 1-2 count for Beard. And Hurd throws one in the dirt. Mealy's there to keep it in front. Now a 2-2 count.
That was good location, trying to throw it away from the batter. Because Ross is playing way off the line at third base.
And that one's going to be hit right down the middle, and that's a deep fly ball out into left field, and Dayton Dow's there to make the catch, and the Bruins retire yet another batter in the top of the second inning with a fly out to left field.
Yes, that's four in a row retired by Peyton Hurd, and 3 of them have been on fly balls to the shortstop, to the center fielder, and to the left fielder there. And
Adam Terrell, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Adam Terrell batting in the 5th slot, a .308 on the season, a .438 on-base percentage, 8 hits, and 8 RBIs.
Yes, I was going to say, this guy looks like your typical number 5 batter. You want a power guy to bat 5th to drive in the runs.
Right.
You know.
And he definitely looks like a power hitter, a big, solid-looking fella.
And he's only a junior, I saw on the program.
And he's going to ground one over to Ross, picks it up as it was going to shortstop. And it goes just a little bit above Tyler Cagle's head, but it is an out as he makes that play. So another ground out for the Bruins, a 5-3. And it looks like Hurd has yet to hit that strikeout per inning on the Hornets. Every batter has hit the ball, but the Bruins defense is playing really solid today. And that's going to bring up Nolan Starkey, the designated hitter. And he takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0 count. Starkey batting a .452 on the season. And Hurd throws him outside, a 2-0 count. And this is the first time Hurd's been down in the count.
And he's designated hitting for Reed Douglas, who's playing left field for Rossville.
And Hurd puts one down the middle, and this one's going to be for a base hit just in shallow center field as Shane Elam picks it up. The first hit of the game for the Hornets is a little looper into the shallow center field. And he's going to be on first with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Mark Soyseth, batting a .300 with an OBP of .417 with 6 hits and 1 RBI on the season.
Well, they got the runner on with 2 outs, and with Mealy's arm, if he was trying to steal.
Soyseth fouls one off down the right field fence for the first strike. It looks like the Hornets not using the standard play call that you see most third base umpires. They're calling out numbers, and that breaking ball is going to land in the strike zone, and now Soyseth is down in the count 0-2. But they've got the coaches shouting out numbers, and they're looking on an arm sleeve to figure out what they have to do.
Yes, I've never seen it.
And a swing and a miss, and Soyseth goes down, and that's going to be it for this inning. A big out for the Bruins, and we'll be back after this word with Vince's recap.
Foundations Building Material is proud to support Blackford High School athletics. Foundation Building Material is your local building materials distributor in East Central Indiana. Our promise to our customers is to do business with integrity and honesty and strive to be the best every day. And never forget, we work for you, our customers. We are founded on principle and built on purpose. Distributors of drywall, steel studs, Armstrong ceiling, and insulation. Call Aaron Farrell, 260-471-2181. Foundations Building Materials.
The Voice of Blackford County Community Newspaper is your local newspaper with local news about local people. Pick your copy up at multiple locations in Hartford City and Montpelier. Published every Tuesday with yearly subscriptions available. The Voice of Blackford County Community Newspaper. Call Danny at 765-251-4903. Vince?
On top of the second, after Beard flied to left, Terrell bounced to Ross to Cagle, who made a nice play. The ball was above his head, but he caught it and held on for the out. Starkey singled, and then a strikeout for Peyton Hurd. That was his first.
And the Bruins still leading 1-0 with the number 6 batter, Ross, Jake Ross, up to the plate, followed by Drew Caldwell and Kyle Price getting his first start of the season on varsity. Jake Ross for the season batting a .291 with 16 hits and 12 RBIs.
Hopefully we can get some runs here. I saw between innings Coach Tony Ugan gathering the Bruins around him and really being positive, trying to fire them up and you want to get at least one run here to put more pressure on Rossville.
Absolutely. A swing and a miss by Ross, and now he's got a 1-1 count as the first pitch came in a little bit too far outside. So Evans still the pitcher. And that one's going to hit that outside corner of the strike zone, the one that we've been talking about for the last couple games.
Yes, the middle infielders are playing really deep. The second baseman's almost into the outfield grass.
Right. And Ross is going to hit a high fly infield ball. The shortstop, nope, the third baseman calls him off and takes it away for the first out of the inning.
Nice catch by the third baseman. I still don't know how to pronounce his name, so Steve will have to say it, who made the put out.
Is that Soyseth?
Soyseth. Right, okay, I think maybe I got it now.
And now the freshman Drew Caldwell, whose batting average is steadily going down as he went 0 for 2 last night with 2 strikeouts.
The third baseman's up on the grass. I wouldn't be surprised to see Caldwell try to bunt.
And he swings away, and this one's going out into right field, a little bit out of play for the first 0-1 count.
Last night, Blackford had a horrible time trying to bunt the ball.
It looks like the first baseman is almost in the grass, so it'd be a nice bunt to lay one down on that first baseline as that pitch comes in, a 1-1 count.
Yes, Caldwell's got a lot of speed for just being a freshman. He is going to be a real solid ball player.
Right. And that pitch, another one outside, a 2-1 count now for the freshman who runs cross country in the off season just to keep up his endurance and his athleticism in the off season for baseball. And this one's going to be drove into the gap between first and second as the right fielder picks it up and looked like he was going to throw, but it holds on to it. And that's another base hit for the Bruins as Caldwell lands on first.
A nice job of hitting by Drew Caldwell. I thought maybe Coach Hugan had him bunt, but Coach Hugan looks down at his sleeve, does something to Bob Banner, and let's see if Caldwell's and Coach Banner can get a read on this pitcher and maybe try to steal a base here.
And Kyle Price with the start tonight as the designated hitter for Tyler Cagle is at the plate. And he takes the first pitch for a strike on the outside corner as the catcher looked like he was trying to throw down to first for the pickoff but couldn't handle the ball.
He thought Caldwell may be going. I thought maybe the same thing, but Caldwell didn't. And
an 0-1 count now for the junior Kyle Price as the pickoff move by Evans and Caldwell's diving in safe,
Caldwell's
easy.
Getting a good lead when you got to dive back in. When you can dive back in, you know you got the right lead.
Caldwell off about 3 steps.
He's leaning back towards first, so I doubt if he's going on this pitch.
And he doesn't, and they're going to try the pickoff move from the catcher, and Caldwell stands up safe as that pitch was thrown for a ball, a 1-1 count.
I tell you, this Colton Beard, the catcher, looks like even though he's throwing 2 out in the center field, that he looks like he's got confidence in that arm.
Yes, he does.
Pick them off.
And Price is going to hit a fly ball, and this one might be caught by the third baseman. And he does as he leans over the fence and gets the out.
What a catch.
And the Bruins now with 2 outs as Price gets the second out with the fly out to the third baseman.
He leaned over the fence and caught that ball backhanded.
And now Hurd is up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you go ahead.
That's a very difficult play to make.
Yes, it is.
That.
And now Hurd up to the plate. Got a walk, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday for his at-bats.
Yes, you're right, he did.
And he takes the first pitch for strike 1.
This is only his second at-bat from getting hit by a pitch and breaking his hand. Yes, I couldn't think if it was his hand or his arm.
An 0-1 count now for the sophomore as Evans is still the pitcher. He throws that one outside for ball 1, a 1-1 count.
Caldwell and Bob Banner are figuring out this pitcher's move because Caldwell was off and looked like he got a good jump if he wanted to steal, but maybe Coach Hugan doesn't want to take a chance getting the third out at second base.
He has increased his lead, and Hurd's going to foul one off out of play for the second strike, and he is down in the count 1-2. Coach Hugan giving him the clap, letting him know to keep battling. As Caldwell still hanging out on first with that one-out base hit single into the right field.
Yes, Coach Hugan very positive. We need to get another run.
And that one's going to be in the dirt, and Caldwell's going to move on to second.
Would you call that a pass ball?
It was in the dirt, and I
Wild
believe
pitch.
you have always told me that would be a wild pitch.
Okay, we'll count as a wild pitch.
A 2-2 count now for Peyton Hurd as Drew Caldwell is out on second with 2 outs. And the Bruins still holding on to that 1-0 lead over the Rossville Hornets.
Yeah, if Peyton can get a hit here, he'll really help himself out as a pitcher.
Yes, he will, and there's a lot of open real estate out there. As the second baseman, looks like he's playing. And this one is going to be hit right up the middle, and if Hurd could beat out the throw, and he is going to beat it out, and Caldwell's going to make it to third.
Well, there's your. They were playing really deep on second and shortstop, and that ball was right up over the base, would be into the outfield against most second basemen. That the second baseman playing deep had the angle, made a stop, and he had no chance of throwing Peyton out as Peyton was hustling down the first base line.
Absolutely, and as that second baseman is a bigger guy, and for him to get over there and make that play and still try to throw shows that the athleticism is not determined by your body type.
No, and let's see if Coach Ugan has a play on here with Elam batting and Hurd on first.
And 2 outs for the Bruins, and Elam back at the top of the lineup. And Hurd jumps off the base, and that pitch is outside for ball 1.
No, Peyton's wasn't going to go anywhere on that.
No, it didn't look like he was, and now Coach Ugan talking to Drew Caldwell standing on third.
It's probably good that he didn't send the runner, let Elam here having that bat with 2 outs.
And Hurd looked like he was going to go, but holds off as that pitch comes in for strike 1.
The only good thing would be if you sent your runner and he's thrown out, you have top of your order batting in the third inning.
Absolutely.
And if Hurd would happen to steal second safely, you'd have runners in scoring position for Elam. But, of course, if Peyton Hurd gets thrown out, that is the inning.
That's right. And now Evans out of the stretch, checking both pitchers. One of the first, and Hurd's going to get caught out in a pickle, but Caldwell's going to go, and they're getting back, and they're going to be safe at second and third. A nice play by the Bruins to advance that runner to second.
What a play. Peyton Hurd, they threw to first. They had Hurd in a rundown. Instead of trying to get him in a rundown, it looked like the first baseman threw home too quick. But Caldwell's fast, and I saw Coach Ugan talking to him before that.
Yep.
So he must have said, you get down that line, but you make sure you can get back there if they make the throw through to, to second base.
Absolutely.
So
and I think Rossville missed an opportunity to get Hurd in the rundown and just hold him either at first or at second, and they let that one slide. And Elam's going to hit a high bouncing ball over to the shortstop, and the shortstop makes the play to first.
What a play.
And that's going to end the inning with that one. The Bruins still holding on to a 1-0 lead, and we'll be back after this.
Are you looking for a job or know of someone who is? Peyton's Northern, a Kroger company, is now hiring. At Peyton's, you'll get a job with career advancement opportunities, employee discounts, tuition reimbursement, and educational assistance. A successful applicant will need to be 18 years of age, have the ability to work weekends, holidays, and overtime, can operate motorized equipment, complete strength and endurance testing, pass a pre-employment and background screens, work 10-hour shifts, and lift 55 pounds. At Peyton's, we offer matching 401k retirement savings, paid incentive days, personal and vacation days, and you'll receive Kroger benefits after 60 days. All qualified applicants are encouraged to apply for this opportunity online at jobs.kroger.com. Click on Logistics and Distribution Jobs and search for Bluffton. For questions, call Peyton Staffing Center at 260-827-2108 or 2109. That's jobs.kroger.com. 260-827-2108. Peyton's Northern, now hiring.
And we're back, Vince. And the one thing that I've noticed with both lineups is the Bruins have batted through their lineup once, and Rossville still not able to get past their bottom bottom part of their lineup.
Rossville will be at 8-9-1, and Blackford's already batted the leadoff batter twice. And the inning, 2 hits, a single by Caldwell, the single by Peyton Hurd. Both runners were left on base. Rossville did not make an error. We go to the 3rd inning. Blackford leads 1-0. And here's Steve.
And Hurd pitches his first pitch in the dirt for ball 1, a 1-0 count. And this batter is Gabe Grizzle. Grizzle batting a .222 on the season with just 6 hits and 2 RBIs. And he's going to drive one out into left field, and it's going to go foul.
Yes,
a hard hit ball that flies out to left field and would have been a base hit easy for the big guy.
Yes.
But gets a hold of it just a little bit too soon, and now a 1-1 count for Grizzle.
And he wasn't even listed on their roster, so.
Hurd with a breaking ball, and Grizzle's going to ground it over to shortstop, and Cagle's unable to scoop it up, and Grizzle's going to be safe at first.
I think that has to be an error on the throw, I would imagine. Or what do you think?
An E6 for the base hit. And Grizzle's out on first, and now we're going to have Ben Rodkey. Rodkey batting a .150 on the season with 3 hits and a whopping 6 RBIs.
Yes, Braxton charged the ball, did everything right. The throw was short hop Cagle, and he couldn't come up with the ball in the dirt.
And the bunt attempt is going to hang out Grizzle, and Grizzle's going to be caught hanging out there for the first out.
Yes, that was a bunt. They were trying to bunt. The batter missed the ball, and Mealy came up firing right away to
the pitch was thrown way outside, and there was no way that Rodkey was going to get. And Peyton's going to hit him off the left shoulder.
Now we're
going to have another batter out on first.
We have a hit batter.
But Hurd threw that pitch way outside. There was no way that Rodkey was going to even make contact with it. He still tried, immediately picked it up, and threw down to first immediately as he saw that Grizzle was hanging off too far, and Grizzle had no chance of getting back, as we're back at the top of the lineup with Dawson Jacoby. Hurd with the pickoff move, and he's safe at first.
That was probably one of his better pickoff moves, because he came up firing that ball over to Cagle.
Right. Hurd out of the stretch, delivers a fastball a little bit too high for a 1-0 count.
And Mealy's ready to come up throwing. The coach again looks at his card. I never have seen baseball players get signs off of numbers before.
Yep, they're calling out numbers, and that pitch is going to be on the outside corner for a strike and a 1-1 count for Jacoby.
Looks like they're really respecting Mealy's arm now. And I tell you, Caleb is one of the better catchers in the area.
Yeah, Rodkey only getting off about a step and a half to 2 steps as Hurd throws that one outside and in the dirt.
Great stop by Caleb Mealy.
Mealy had to jump way out there to the right, keeping that ball in front of him and saving that extra base. Hurd still out of the stretch, a 2-1 count on Jacoby, and he's going to ground over to straight to Riddle. Riddle throws one way out, and Cagle had to come off the bag. The runner is out at second, but the Jacoby is going to be safe at first on the fielder's choice.
Yes, what a play. Straight flipped it underhanded to Riddle, and Riddle tried to turn the double play, was late with the throw, but what a stop by Tyler Cagle.
Yes.
He dug that ball out of the dirt, preventing at least 1 base, maybe 2.
Absolutely, and now we're going to have the left-handed pitcher, Evan Price, up to the plate. And Hurd spins for the pickoff move again on Jacoby, and he's safe at first.
Yes, they are really looking to hold that runner at first base.
Right. Price grounded out to second in his first at-bat. And it looks like Jacoby just a little bit farther off as Hurd throws that breaking ball, and they're going to call that a ball as it misses. Just a little bit high, I'm guessing.
Must have been high, yes. That's something I could see because it was over the plate.
Yes, it was. A 1-0 count for Price. And Jacoby's off the bag just a little bit. Hurd again with the pickoff move. Trying to keep him close and keep that steal from happening. But with 2 outs, I would assume that they probably just want to focus on the batter right now.
Yes.
And Price is going to foul one off down the left field line. Now a 1-1 count with 2 outs.
You don't want to mess around with the runner too much to distract you from the batter because, again, as Steve said, you only need 1 out.
1 out is all that they need, and a bad throw will put him on second, and that's just not what you need with a 1-0 lead. And this is going to be grounded over to Riddle to Cagle, and that's going to do it for this inning. And Vince will be right back after these words from our sponsor.
Locally owned, Straits Drywall and Paint, LLC, owned by Jeff and Aubrey Straight, have 30 years of experience in commercial and residential painting and drywall finishing. Straits Drywall and Paint can do anything from new construction to remodels. Does your home need a new touch of color inside or out? Call Jeff or Aubrey at 765-499-9416 for a free quote. Straits Drywall and Paint, LLC. Insured painters with the professional skills necessary to complete your project on time and within budget. The Voice of Blackford County Community Newspaper is your hometown newspaper with a staff that takes great pride in covering local community events in Hartford City and Montpelier. Available at newsstands in Hartford City at Needler's Fresh Market, Food and Fuel, John's Service Station, Northside Florist, and in Montpelier at Koppel's Family Market, Carrie's Restaurant, and Charlie's Sunoco, with more locations coming soon. The Voice of Blackford County is published every Tuesday with a cost of only $1 or a yearly subscription for $35. You'll find school-related events, obituaries, public records info, church news, community calendar, and so much more. Contact Danny at 765-251-4903 or Ann at 765-330-4842. The Voice of Blackford County Community Newspaper. Local news about local people.
And we're back. Sorry about that. We've got Braxton Straight coming up to the plate, and he takes the first pitch for a 1-0 count. And Vince, do you have a recap for us?
Yes, in the inning for Rossville, no runs. There was 1 error, no hits, and 1 runner was left. So we go to the after 2.5 innings, Rossville trails Blackford 1-0. Blackford with 5 hits, Rossville with 1.
And Straight now with a 2-1 count as he takes that pitch for a ball. The previous pitch was a strike. And the Bruins, again, as Vince said, with a 1-0 lead over Rossville. As Straight's leading off here, and this one's going to be hit up the middle, and that second baseman gets a glove on it, but it tips off. And Straight's going to be safe at first.
Nice hit for Braxton Straight, right up the middle. Again, their middle infielders for Rossville playing way deep, and he just couldn't backhand the ball. Even if he did, with his momentum towards left field, would not be able to throw out the speedy Braxton Straight. And now batting is the hot-hitting number 3 hitter in the lineup, Caleb Mealy.
Absolutely, Caleb Mealy doing very well as he drives this one out to down the left field line for the first strike, an 0-1 count.
And I imagine Coach Egan just going to play it straight, let Mealy hit the ball and try to advance, and hopefully for Mealy he can find another gap out there.
It's always easier to play with the lead than it is to play from behind. And Mealy's going to foul another one off, and now Mealy goes down quick in the count, 0-2.
Yes. Coach Tony Egan looks over at Braxton Straight, who was running towards second. Of course, when the ball's hit on the ground, you got to run or you're forced out anyway. So let's see what happens here.
Mealy with an 0-2 count. The pitch comes in. It's a little high, a 1-2 count now.
Yes, Braxton wasn't going anywhere. Now Coach Egan flashes signs to Straight and to Coach Banner over there, and we'll see if he has something on here with Mealy.
Mealy with a 1-2 count, and he's swinging away, and this one's hit out into center field. The center fielder underneath of it makes the catch for the first out of the inning. And that's Mealy's first at-bat where he doesn't get a hit.
That was a well-hit ball. It just kind of went out in the center field and kind of dived
The wind is blowing from, looks like right center into
the woods in left field.
Into the woods in left field. So the ball probably, the center fielder looked like he was underneath of it and then had to take a couple steps in to actually make the play.
Yes.
So then that going to bring up Dayton Dow, who got a single out into left field that that was the one that went down the left field line, wasn't it?
Yes, Dayton Dow singled. If they're going to have anything going, it's going to be on this pitch here or the next pitch. The next two pitches, Coach Hugan again flashing signs to straighten to Coach Bob Banner.
And Dow with a 1-0 count, drives one out into center field, another hit up the middle, and that seems to be where the Bruins need to keep their bats.
Yes, he hit that one. That was a good hit.
Another single by Dayton Dow, 2 for 2.
The Rossville defense could have fielded that ball. Now run first and second with one out and Blaine Riddle.
Blaine Riddle struck out swinging his last at-bat. So the Bruins with just one out, leading 1-0 with runners on first and second, looking to jump into scoring territory now in the infield. Corners are starting to move in. The first baseman on the grass now. As Riddle shows bunt, the pitch is outside for ball one.
The second baseman's about 2 steps behind the runner straight at second. Now he moves over to second base position, and the shortstop looks like he's trying to sneak in behind him. Usually how that works is they'll let the runner out of the corner of his eye catch the second baseman what he's doing, and the third base coach will help the runner with the shortstop, because if he gets the lead and the shortstop's behind him, it's in his blind spot.
Right.
And usually that'll be Bob Banner's responsibility too at first to let the runner know what the second baseman is doing.
Right, and that pitch was in the dirt, and it looked like, we're going to have a pickoff attempt here at second base, and Straight's back standing up. But the second pitch for Ross was in the dirt, a 2-0 count, and it looked like the runners were ready to go, but the catcher, Beard, able to keep it in front of him. So Evans still out of the stretch. Runners on first and second, and Riddle tries laying down a bunt, but fouls it off for his first strike.
Again, Blackford failing to do anything with the ball, bunting it.
That's right, and Riddle's going to go down and have a talk with Coach Tony Hugan and maybe give him some advice on how to lay this bunt down.
Yes, there was definitely some strategy involved there. I'm not for sure which it is, but if it is anything about bunting the ball, you're right. And they may try a bunt and run here as the third baseman. Shortstop is way over toward second base, and the third baseman is even with the bag.
And the second baseman looks like he's playing more right field than second base, as he's about 20 to 30 feet off of the bag. And Riddle's going to try to lay down the bunt. It fouls back behind him, and Beard tries to make the catch, but just kept sailing away from him. And now Riddle has a 2-2 count. And Riddle's struggling here late in the season to lay down bunts and actually get hits here. I want to say he didn't do very well last night either. He did get a base hit, but struck out swinging and grounded out to the second baseman. So he went 1 for 3 last night. Yes,
and Blaine's a good hitter. Blaine can hit the ball.
I remember at one time Riddle had the best batting average of the season, but now just a .358 with 24 hits, and he goes down swinging with that pitch.
Strikeout again.
So Riddle definitely struggling at the plate with this pitcher. Goes down for the second out of the inning, and now we're going to have Jake Ross, the third baseman, who flew out to the third baseman, his last at bat. Now Beard's going to take a quick timeout and go talk to Evans.
And Evan Price with the strikeout was his second of the game. So here's Jake Ross. We had runner on first, and then first and second with one out, and Straight has not advanced since Dow's single, so hopefully Jacob Ross can drive him in.
And I was wrong last night. Jake Ross went 1 for 3. Riddle actually got 3 hits, but grounded out to a double play in one, struck out another, and flew out to the first baseman. And Ross swinging and a miss on his first pitch on the outside. And
nice location with that ball. The catchers are setting up away from the right-handed batters, almost in the left-hand batter's box. And, excuse me, they're getting that call from Mr. Michael Parker.
An 0-1 count for Ross. Price with the pitch, and Ross is going to foul it off. Now an 0-2 count.
Yes, 0-2. This has been a really well-played game so far by both sides.
And we just need the Bruins to hold on and keep playing this solid defense, as we said in our pregame, and they should do all right.
Yes, we need to get a run in here at least.
And Ross lays off of that one, and it's inside for a 1-2 count.
Looks like that was across the plate a little bit high.
And the score of the Lady Bruins, who've traveled down to Blue River, 22-3. The Lady Bruins in the top of the fourth over the Blue River Vikings.
Well, that's great. We need a win, and I don't. Hopefully, they will.
And Ross is going to line drive one right to the third baseman. He doesn't even have to move, and that's going to do it for this half inning. And we'll be back after this word from our sponsor.
Are you looking for a job or know of someone who is? Peyton's Northern, a Kroger company, is now hiring. At Peyton's, you'll get a job with career advancement opportunities, employee discounts, tuition reimbursement, and educational assistance. A successful applicant will need to be 18 years of age, have the ability to work weekends, holidays, and overtime, can operate motorized equipment, complete strength and endurance testing, pass a pre-employment and background screens, work 10-hour shifts, and lift 55 pounds. At Peyton's, we offer matching 401k retirement savings, paid incentive days, personal and vacation days, and you'll receive Kroger benefits after 60 days. All qualified applicants are encouraged to apply for this opportunity online at jobs.kroger.com. Click on Logistics and Distribution Jobs and search for Bluffton. For questions, call Peyton Staffing Center at 260-827-2108 or 2109. That's jobs.kroger.com. 260-827-2108. Peyton's Northern, now hiring.
Well, in the bottom of the third for Blackford, 2 hits, no Rossville errors. There was 2 runners left, and a strikeout by the pitcher. Evan Price was the second. So after 3 innings, Blackford 1 run, 7 hits. We've committed 1 error. Rossville, no runs on only 1 hit, and they have not committed an error. So hopefully Peyton Hurd can get us through the fourth here. Hitters 3, 4, and 5. Kelton Saylor, Colton Beard, and Adam Terrell.
And we're up to bat with Kelton Saylor, who takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. And Hurd throws another one outside. Looks a little disappointed in himself for now a 2-0 count on Saylor.
Well, the things you don't want to do is get behind the hitters when you got a 1-run lead.
And now he's way behind with a 3-0 count.
And we've played pretty decent defense. We've only had 1 error so far.
And Hurd's going to walk the first batter with 4 straight pitches and 4 straight balls.
Well, that may...
Not the way you want to start off with with Rossville, and now Colton Beard is going to be at the plate.
He's a cleanup batter, flied to the left fielder, Dayton Dow, in the second inning.
And Beard, flew out to left field. His first at-bat. Hurd now out of the stretch, delivers that pitch, a breaking ball, and it gets away from Mealy, and Mealy's not going to be able to pick it up in time.
I didn't see that. Was that probably a pass ball?
I don't know how you...
I just looked up, and I saw Mealy
it was definitely in the dirt, so I would guess that it would be a wild pitch.
Okay, I'm sorry. Usually if it's not the catcher's fault, it's a wild pitch against a pitcher. Now there's Colton Beard, a runner on second. That's the first time they've had a runner reach second base, I believe.
I think so, and Ross must have slipped and fell because he wasn't anywhere near that, and they're going to try and score, and that ball gets behind Caleb Mealy, and now Beard is rounding second, and the Herd's got the backup. And Rossville now ties it up 1-1.
Well, Colton Beard to be credited with a base hit. Kelton Saylor was sent from second base as he rounded third. The throw came in. It was way offline and high. Got by Mealy, got by the pitcher Peyton Hurd. And on the second is Beard, so they'll be a single and advance to second on the throw home. I don't believe there'd be an error on the play. So we got a pinch runner out at second base. I don't know for sure who that is, but Adam Terrell is now the batter.
Adam Terrell grounded out to the third baseman his first at-bats. The Rossville Hornets have no outs in the top of the fourth inning, and they've got some bullpen action. Number 14, I don't have his name. Dawson Jacoby. Out there in the bullpen warming up, and Hurd throws another one outside and in the dirt for ball one.
He was the leadoff batter playing shortstop, Dawson Jacoby.
Yes, he was. So Hurd now with another pitched ball on this game, as he has a runner on second. He takes that breaking ball and puts it in on the inside corner for a 1-1 count.
Usually the saying in Little League Baseball is a walk's a run. If you walk the leadoff batter, they usually score. And Peyton walked Kelton's Saylor, and he scores on the base hit by Colton Beard.
Yes, he does. And Hurd with the spin move out on the mound with the pickoff.
Looked like Peyton was ready to throw the ball. Nobody was covering behind the runner, so that's either Straight or Riddle's fault. May have been Straight's because he's playing closer to the runner.
And that one's going to be fouled off by Terrell for a 1-2 count.
That was a beautiful pitch by Peyton Hurd. He's got to put another one right around there, I'm assuming.
It looked like a little bit of an off-speed pitch.
Yes,
a 1-2 count now for Terrell, who again grounded out to third, has a runner on second and no outs, and Hurd steps off the mound again to make Beard go.
That was just like a regular stare at the runner, keep you close. He just stepped right off the rubber.
Right. And Hurd puts one on the inside, and it's going to be grounded over to Ross again, and Beard takes off for third, and he's going to be safe as Cagle couldn't get the ball back to him in time.
Good play by Jacob Ross. He went down, threw the ball to Cagle. The runner was running to third. Cagle threw it to Ross, and the runner was in quick enough that he could do a pop-up slide. Now here comes Coach Hugan out.
Yes, Coach
Hugan. To
Hugan.
have a conference with his infielders and pitcher, and we got a runner on third with one out.
The Bruins defensively looking very solid up until this inning, allowing that one run to come in and score. And I'm hoping that the Bruins can keep the defense going and maybe get out of this inning without letting that runner on third come into home and take the lead. The Bruins tied now with Rossville 1-1 as Blackford took the early lead, but Rossville now playing catch up. And with one out and a runner on third, this is going to be a pretty big task to keep them from scoring.
Yes, and the pinch runner's number is number 12. That's Ray Rodkey running at third base.
And Hurd with an outside pitch, a 1-0 count now for Starkey, right? Yeah, Nolan Starkey, the designated hitter. Starkey drove one out to center field, and now he's going to lay down a nice bunt, and it's a squeeze play, and they're going to score. But Starkey's going to be out, and the Rossville takes a 2-1 lead over the Bruins.
Great job of sacrifice bunting, a squeeze bunting. That kind of caught me by surprise. I think it did the Bruins too. So with Ray Rodkey scoring, that gives Rossville a 2-1 lead.
And that's going to bring up Mark Soyseth up to the plate as he takes the first pitch for ball one. And I believe that was Colton Beard, whoever was running for him. It shouldn't have been Rodkey. Rodkey's in the lineup, and Soyseth is going to drive one out into right field. Drew Caldwell fields it on the bounce, and it does say Ray Rodkey. Oh, I've got Ben Rodkey in the lineup.
There's two Rodkeys.
But Soyseth gets a single out into right field.
Okay.
And now we're going to have Gabe Grizzle up to the plate. Grizzle reached on an error from Braxton Strait his last at bat.
Yes.
And Hurd going to throw a breaking ball, lands outside and in the dirt for a 1-0 count.
Blackford's just going to have to keep their heads up. They're just try to get out of this inning with allowing just the 2 runs and try to get some offense going.
And Hurd with another breaking ball, missing outside and in the dirt again. Now a 2-1 count, or a 2-0 count.
But again, Rossville had bullpen activity earlier. Nobody's throwing down there now.
And Blackford looking to stay with Hurd as their pitchers. He throws a fastball, and Grizzle's going to foul it off out of play down the first base, behind the first base dugout.
Well, Rossville did what Blackford was unable to do the last few games. That was lay down a nice bunt to score the runner. It was the squeeze play all the way.
Hurd with another fastball, misses high, a 3-1 count now for Grizzle.
Down the line, and the kid then squared and laid down the perfect bunt. Hurd only play he had was the first base.
That's right, and Hurd gets Grizzle swinging and fouls one off, and now we've got a full count for Grizzle.
And the
full count with 2 outs.
The runner will be moving with the pitch.
And the Bruins just need 1 out to get out of this inning. And Hurd throws one right down the middle, and this one's going to be foul out of play. A lucky break for Peyton Hurd on that pitch.
Yes, I see the Blackford Bruin flags on the side of the bleachers are blowing straight backwards. And the flag in center field is blowing towards right center to the woods in left field.
Hurd with another fastball, and this is going to be an infield fly, and Ross is calling it out and makes the catch, and he almost drops it. He had to take a double look at that one and make sure he had it in his hands, but the Bruins now trailing 2-1, and we'll be back after this.
Locally owned Straits Drywall and Paint, LLC, owned by Jeff and Aubrey Strait, have 30 years of experience in commercial and residential painting and drywall finishing. Straits Drywall and Paint can do anything from new construction to remodels. Does your home need a new touch of color inside or out? Call Jeff or Aubrey at 765-499-9416 for a free quote. Straits Drywall and Paint, LLC. Insured painters with the professional skills necessary to complete your project on time and within budget.
Foundations Building Material is your local building materials distributor in East Central Indiana for drywall, steel studs, and Armstrong ceiling and insulation. Founded on principle and built on purpose. Contact Aaron Farrell at 260-471-2181. And Vince, the Bruins trailing 2-1 to Rossville after they score 2 runs in that inning. And what else do we have to recap?
Yes, well, Rossville 2 runs on 2 hits that inning, singles by Colton Beard and by Mark Soyseth. I think I got it.
You got it that time.
And the runs were scored. Saylor scored on a ball that was hit the left field. They sent him to home, and the throw was offline. And then the other one was a perfect squeeze bunt for the run. So we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Bruins up at hitters 7, 8, 9. The bottom third of the order, Drew Caldwell, Kyle Price, and Peyton Hurd. And we got a pitching change for Rossville. Number 14 will be the new pitcher, Dawson Jacoby.
And yes, Dawson Jacoby is the new pitcher. Jacoby on the season. Let's see what his stats are. He's pitching a 4.08 ERA with just 13 strikeouts on the season. So not one of the better ERAs. Probably about average with the Bruins. So this team now matching up quite well with the Bruins as Drew Caldwell is getting ready to come up to the plate. And I'm not sure, it doesn't look like Price went back into the field, so I wonder who took his spot. Now, they're telling me that Price is in left, so he is still in the field.
And that information came from our great PA announcer, Tyler McDonald, who does a great job on the PA system. And also, I'm glad to see that Coach Sutton is up here in the booth on the other side with
Yes,
us.
he is, and Drew Caldwell hits one, a little looper over to second base, or shortstop, the shortstop to the first baseman, and that's going to be the first out.
My goodness, that shortstop has an arm on him. I'm not for sure who the shortstop is now. Is that 31?
That's 34. It's still Nolan Starkey. Well, it's Nolan Starkey now.
Starkey went from DH to shortstop.
And so that means that Douglas is out. And Price up to the plate, fouls his first pitch off, an 0-1 count with one out.
Yes, what a play. So the changes are Price is in left, Dawson Jacoby will be the pitcher, and Nolan Starkey goes to shortstop, so they lose a designated hitter.
There you go, and Jacoby out of the windup, a right-handed pitcher, throws a breaking ball and gets Price swinging for strike two.
And I tell you, for that play that the shortstop made there, if he just designated hitting, he's a great athlete.
And Price is going to foul another one off. 3 straight pitches, 3 straight fouled off hits.
The way that the shortstop played reminded me of Jim Englehart, that played for Hartford City. He'd pick the ball up and he'd twist it in his glove. Well, what he's trying to do is find the 4 seams to throw to first base. And I used to think he just was messing around with the runner. But Jerry Brown, Caleb Meady's grandpa, was the first baseman. He said if he didn't, if he threw it with 2 seams, that ball would just tail like a curveball.
Right.
So,
and Price fouls off another one. 4 straight pitches, 4 straight fouled off.
maybe Kyle can get a hit here.
And that pitch just missing outside, and Price has a 1-2 count.
As a matter of fact, on the way home last night from South Adams, Steve, you and I were talking about this Price kid and
another breaking ball just missing. I thought for sure he was going to ring him up on that one. A 2-2 count now for Price with 1 out. The Bruins trailing by 1, 2-1, and Jacoby's got to throw a fastball here, and he does. And Price is going to foul it yet another one off.
Oh, I see your son Peyton Hurd's on deck, so evidently he's going to bat for himself and remain as pitcher, which is well because...
And we've got 2 warming up out in the bullpen. And Price is going to take that pitch off the shoulder, and that's going to give the Bruins a runner on first.
He's hit by the pitch. Now let's see if a
and we're going to have a designated runner, Isaac Justice, coming in for Kyle Price.
Okay.
I shouldn't have called it as a designated runner. That's a pinch runner for Kyle Price.
Yes, well, Isaac Justice has got good speed.
And Hurd now approaching the plate. Isaac Justice out on first, and Coach Tony Ugan has to be looking for a steal to get Justice into scoring position.
Yes, maybe a bunt.
And Jacoby turns and tries the pickoff move, but Justice standing up, able to reach first.
Yes. Let's see if Hurd tries to bunt here.
And another pickoff attempt, and Justice is still back safe.
Boy, Rossville's determined not to let Justice get a lead over there to steal second.
And they must be thinking the same thing that I am up here in the booth, that Justice is looking to steal. Oh. And this one's going to go behind the first baseman, and look at the speed on Justice as he's going to slide in head first to second. And now we've got a runner in scoring position without a pitch thrown to Peyton Hurd.
Yes, that's good.
And now the coach of the Rossville Hornets is going to go out and have a talk with his pitcher.
I think that'd have to be an error on the pitcher. I'm pretty sure that would be.
Right. Yeah, that throw was way off and had no chance of being picked up by the first baseman.
That was the speed of Isaac Justice that got that forced error on Rossville. I look for Hurd to bunt here, to bunt and run, try to steal.
And the girls have picked up their third win of the season, beating Blue River Valley Lady Vikings 23-5.
Well, that's great. Congratulations, Lady Bruins. That win has been a long time coming.
They have definitely had a little bit of a struggle this season, as Beard now going out to talk to his pitcher, Dawson, or Jacoby.
You want to see a big win like that coming up on the sectional play. Maybe they'll give them more confidence.
Absolutely. That's their last game of the season until they play sectionals next Wednesday.
And then the sectional is at Blackford.
It is at Blackford. It might even be Tuesday, Vince. I'm not sure.
Okay,
I think it's Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday.
We'll have to find out.
And Jacoby, still your pitcher, out of the stretch, eyeballing Isaac Justice. Delivers the pitch, and Justice is going to take off, and Hurd tries to bunt, but that ball goes foul, way foul, down the third base line. And that's the first pitch that Hurd has been given with this at-bat.
That's amazing. He threw over there 3 times. Isaac was on a straight steal. Peyton was trying to protect him with the bunt. The ball was high, and Peyton fouled it off. See if Coach Eugen does the same thing here. And the pitcher, Jacoby, steps off the mound to have Isaac go back to second. The shortstop really trying to cover second base. He's playing way over there by Justice. There's a big gap now in the left side of the infield.
And the pitch comes in, and it's going to be outside for a ball 1.
Good eye.
Hurd lays off of that one. I believe he squared up to bunt.
He did. He
squared up to bunt and drew it back.
Justice was playing it straight. He wasn't running, and the ball went for a ball.
And now Jacoby still out of the stretch, eyeballing, and Hurd's trying to lay down another bunt, but gets that bat turned a little bit too far down the third base line, and it's going to go foul.
Base line, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now we'll see Mr. Peyton Hurd swinging the bat. He singled the last time, and last night I think he walked in one at bat.
Yes, he did.
So maybe he can do something out here to help the Bruins out.
The Bruins struggling laying down the bunt this year. Last year they did a very good job of putting down the bunt when it was needed. And Hurd's going to drive one out into right field, and the right fielder's there to make the catch, and they might turn 2, and they do. Isaac Justice got off the bag a little bit too far and got caught out hanging as Hurd flies out to right field. And with that, we'll be back.
The Voice of Blackford County Community Newspaper is your hometown newspaper with a staff that takes great pride in covering local community events in Hartford City and Montpelier. Available at newsstands in Hartford City at Needler's Fresh Market, Food and Fuel, John's Service Station, Northside Florist, and in Montpelier at Koppel's Family Market, Carrie's Restaurant, and Charlie's Sunoco, with more locations coming soon. The Voice of Blackford County is published every Tuesday with a cost of only $1 or a yearly subscription for $35. You'll find school-related events, obituaries, public records info, church news, community calendar, and so much more. Contact Danny at 765-251-4903 or Ann at 765-330-4842. The Voice of Blackford County Community Newspaper. Local news about local people.
Stop by Food and Fuel Marathon on North Walnut Street for fuel for your car and fuel for you. Lunch available Monday through Friday, biscuits and gravy Monday through Saturday, and Poppy's Extreme Donuts daily. Open Monday through Friday, 4:30 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. I also seen on their sign as I was driving through town that Fish Sandwich Fridays are back, so make sure you stop in there and get your fish sandwich on Fridays. Vince, you have a recap?
Yes, we do. Drew Caldwell grounded out to the shortstop, Starkey, who made a good throw to first base to retire the speedy Caldwell. Kyle Price was hit with a pitch. Justice came on to run. After they tried to pick Isaac off first on an error, he advanced to second. And then Peyton Hurd hit one right on the nose. I called that a line drive to the right fielder. Right fielder made a nice catch, saw Justice a little bit off the bag and threw behind him for the double play.
Yeah, Justice was about 25 feet off the bag and got him caught right out into that double play.
And that was a heck of a catch by the right fielder.
So the Bruins
we have no
missed a great opportunity to go to tie the ball game up.
Yes.
And now find themselves still down 2-1. coming into the top of the fifth inning here with Rossville up to the plate. And I believe
9-1-2.
9-1-2.
Dawson Jacoby and Evan Price. And Jake Ross in the pitch now for Blackford here in the fifth inning.
And it looks like, Hurd must be sitting the bench now. So somebody else has to be in here now, right? Or is Hurd out in right field?
I don't know. I can't tell.
No, that looks like Brandon Strobel must be in for Peyton Hurd. That is Brandon Strobel out in right field.
I'll say you know what your own son looks like, so I'll agree with you.
I was going off the color of the glove. Brandon Strobel has a light-colored brown glove, and Peyton has a dark-colored brown glove. Peyton's number 12, and Brandon Strobel's number 4, and I can only see one number. As Ross puts the first pitch in the strike zone on that outside corner.
So Strobel will be hitting in the ninth spot.
Yep. And Drew Caldwell now moved over into the third base position, and this one's going to be grounded over to Braxton Straight. Braxton Straight fields it, but a very close play gets the out for the first out of the inning. And now we're going to be back to the top of the lineup with Dawson Jacoby.
That was a nice play by Braxton Straight coming in, fielding the ball and throwing to Cagle. Again, who stretched out at first base to get the runner. Dawson Jacoby's 0 for 2 tonight.
And Jacoby tries laying down a bunt, but it's going to go foul, and 0-1 count.
He flied out to the shortstop straight in the first, reached on the fielder's choice in the third, straight to Riddle, and then he's only batted twice. He's batting here for the third time in the fifth inning.
And Jacoby, the pitcher now for the Hornets. Jake Ross still out of the windup, delivers that pitch, and Jacoby swinging away at this one. It's going to be hit out just shallow right field. And Riddle has the ball in his glove, and it pops out. And Jacoby's going to be safe at first instead of out.
That's an error.
That is definitely an error as Jacoby reaches first, and that's the type of errors that the Bruins have to stop committing.
Yes, I mean, it's kind of a tough catch, but you got to be able to make that catch. Here's Price, bounced to second to Riddle, but both times he's batted.
And Ross bringing Caldwell in closer into the grass to look for that bunt as Price fouls this one off.
Yes, Riddle's upset with himself. You just got to shake that off. Make sure you field the next one.
That's why you always catch with two hands, Vince.
Yes, you can't let the...
And the Bruins going to get burnt by having Caldwell moving in closer to the grass, and that's going to be another base hit for the
Rossville Hornets. Price, that's his first hit of the game. For Rossville, that's only their fourth hit. All singles.
And now that's going to bring up the left-handed batter, Kelton Saylor, with runners on first and second. And the Bruins seem to be falling apart here in the top of the fifth inning.
In the first inning, he flied out to Shane Elam, who made a nice running catch. And then he walked and scored off of Peyton Hurd. So he's 0 for 1. We need an out here. First and second, no outs. And hitters 3, 4, and 5 coming up. So... We got to keep them limited. If they score, you only can give them one. You can't let them have a big inning on the offense.
Absolutely, and with runners on first and second, Kelton Saylor grounds one over to Riddle, and Riddle fumbles the ball again, and that's going to put bases loaded for the Rossville Hornets with one out.
That was a tough play by Blaine. I think he was trying to turn the double play before he fielded the ball. And you have to make sure you have the ball in your glove before you turn double play. Coach Hugin's playing the middle infielders back for a double play ball. And Caldwell's up on about even with the bag at third. Cagle's a couple of steps behind first. So that's the second error of the inning for Blackford.
And Colton Beard now up to the plate. Beard with a hit out into left field, swing and a miss on his first pitch.
Yes, he's flied to left to Dayton Dow, and then he singled. So they got Bases are loaded with 1 out.
1 out, bases loaded for the Hornets. Jake Ross out of the stretch delivers that breaking ball, and it just hits the strike zone. This umpire takes a long time to call those.
Yes, he lucked that over. I thought he was going to call a ball too. Then he raised his right hand.
An 0-2 count for
infield fly. The batter
Beard.
Should be out.
And the infield fly was called. Drew Caldwell does catch it, and now the Hornets have 2 outs with bases loaded with the lead 2-1.
A big out that was to get him to pop to the third baseman Caldwell. The batter would have been out anyway. Caldwell makes the catch. Now there's 2 outs. We just need a force out any base, and we're out of the inning. Adam Terrell's bounced to the third baseman Ross both times at the plate.
And a breaking ball, and he gets a hold of this one. A deep fly ball into center field. Shane Elam waving his arms and makes the catch. And the Bruins get out of this inning with no runs scored after having bases loaded. And we'll be back.
Dr. Malia Robertson of Clear Choice Chiropractic asks, do you suffer from neck pain while working, or do migraines keep you from enjoying your day? Do you have to take pain pills just to function? Does your baby cry constantly for no apparent reason? And most importantly, do you remember the last day you were pain-free? You don't have to live with these frustrations. The doctors at Clear Choice Chiropractic have many techniques to relieve the symptoms of neck and back pain, headaches, stiff joints, colic, earaches, and many other symptoms. Call for your appointment with Dr. Malia Robertson at Clear Choice Chiropractic, 765-329-5044. That's 329-5044. And take back your life and enjoy living pain-free. Located at 1501 North Walnut Street in Hartford City. Open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesdays, 3 to 6 p.m. Thursdays, 3 to 7 p.m. Closed Saturdays and Sundays. Clear Choice Chiropractic. We've got your back.
This half inning brought to you by Straits Drywall and Paint LLC. With 30 years of experience, Jeff and Aubrey Strait, owners of Straits Drywall and Paint LLC, can help you with any project you have, from commercial and residential remodel to new construction. Give your home that new touch of color. Call them at 765-499-9416 and follow them on Facebook. Vince?
Well, what a pitching performance by Jacob Ross. The first batter ground out to straight to Cagle, then an air, a single and an air, and then the last 2 batters, hitters 4 and 5. Colton Beard pops up to the third baseman Caldwell. Adam Terrell flies out to the center fielder Shane Elam. Shane will lead off here in the bottom of the 5th. We came away with great job of not letting them score. Now we got to get a couple of runs here and take the lead.
Absolutely, and we've got Shane Elam leading off at the top of the lineup.
Yes, top of the order. Elam's 1 for 2, a single, stolen base, and ground to short. Strake's 1 for 2, and Mealy's 1 for 2.
So the bottom of the 5th, and the Bruins down 2-1 to the Rossville Hornets. And Shane Elam again, 0 for 2. Is that no? 1 for 2 on the evening.
We got to score at least 1 or 2. We got to score 2 runs this inning.
And it doesn't look like Rossville has made any infield changes. And Elam takes that first pitch, doesn't even give it a look for an 0-1 count.
No, I've been impressed with this Rossville team.
Yeah, with a 14-9 record, they're really a decent team, and that pitch gets way outside and away from the catcher for a 1-1 count.
I don't have a computer, and I didn't get a chance to go to the library today, so I was going to look up some things about them, but you did. And
I did. I got all of their batting averages and their pitching averages, and to be honest with you, they seem to line up real well with us, as Elam's going to ground this one over to the shortstop. And the shortstop, with a hard throw to first base,
what an arm,
is able to throw Elam out.
It looked like Elam was about halfway down the line before he even fielded the ball. And, boy, once he did, I'm impressed with their shortstop, Starkey.
Yes, he definitely got that ball thrown in time to get Elam out at first.
Now we have Braxton Strait popped to second and singled. We need to get Braxton on the base.
And Braxton, another one that's 1 for 2 on the evening. And Jacoby, and this one's going to be grounded again over to the shortstop. The shortstop tries to pick it up on the run, but doesn't get the handle on it, and Straight's going to be the first runner of this inning.
I'm going to count that as a base hit. That was going to be a tough play all the way. Shortstop playing back kind of deep, knew he had to hustle to get to the ball, and he just couldn't make the play.
And that's going to bring up Caleb Mealy, who is 1 for 2 as well on the day. Flew out to center field and got a stand-up double out down the left field line in the first inning. And Jacoby delivering out of the stretch, and Mealy's going to drive this one in between the 5-6 gap, and the shortstop again struggles to get the handle on it, and both runners are going to be safe.
Again, I'm going to give Mealy a base hit, so he's 2 for 3. So now we got runners on first and second with 1 out. We got Dayton Dow batting, who's 2 for 2, 2 singles. Then Riddle on deck, who struck out twice, and I'll say Blaine is due. I'll say Blaine Riddle is due.
Blaine Riddle definitely due, and now
Hopefully.
Dayton Dow with runners on first and second. The Bruins only trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 5th.
Just don't hit to a double play.
And Jacoby out of the stretch, taking a look. And
The umpire called time. The catcher must have asked for time.
He must have got a cramp. It looked like he was trying to stretch out that inside part of his right leg.
Yes.
And there's no pitch given. So still an 0-0 count for Dayton Dow, and they're going to try the pickoff move as Braxton Straight is safe at second. So is Rossville really paying a lot of attention to the runners when they get them on and in scoring position, and that pitch is going to be outside for a ball.
Yes, the home plate umpire, Michael Parker, looked at that one really close, decided it wasn't a strike, so
a 1-0 count for Dayton Dow. A 1-0 count for Dayton Dow. The Bruins down by 1 with runners on first and second, so we have 1 in scoring position. And Jacoby puts that one in there, and the umpire does give it the strike call, a breaking ball that must have hit the outside corner.
Yes, I think it did. The shortstop was running over there to cover second, and he brushed against Straight, the runner. Of course, that's incidental contact. There was nothing illegal about it.
And Dayton Dow tries to lay down the bunt and now goes 1-2 in the count.
Looks like Dayton Dow was trying to bunt that one, but at the last second, he looked like he was bunting for a base hit instead of a sacrifice.
Yes.
If it's a sacrifice, you want to get the ball down and then make them field and throw, and anything can happen.
Absolutely.
But,
and with a 1-2 count, now Dayton Dow will be swinging away with runners on first and second. He's 2 for 2 on the day. As Jacoby giving the Elam a good look, and this one's going to be hit for a base hit over the left fielder's head. And Shane Elam or Braxton Straight should score, and Caleb Mealy is right behind. And this is going to be a close play at home, and Mealy's going to score, and they're going to get Dow trying to extend it out to third. Yep, they do get the out as Dayton Dow goes down trying to extend that out to third, but the Bruins score 2 runs, taking the lead now 3-2 over the Rossville Hornets.
yes, for Dayton Dow, a double. He burned the left fielder on that. Straight scored. There was going to be a play at home on Mealy, and he scored easily. And then the catcher, a nice throw to third to get Dayton Dow trying to advance.
So that'll be a double for Dayton Dow
2 runs batted in.
with 2 RBIs and getting caught in a 7-2-5 out at third base. And that pitch for Blaine Riddle is called for a strike.
Oh, my goodness.
And that one was way outside.
I thought it tailed way away from him.
It definitely tailed way away, but the umpire's seeing something that we do different than we do up here in the booth, Vince. An 0-1 count now for Blaine Riddle, 2 outs, and that one, the breaking ball, misses high.
Well, as long as he calls that consistent, I mean.
Yep.
I'm with you. I was befuddled. That was a strike, really.
Absolutely a 1-1 count, and that's just about the same pitch, just a little bit farther outside, a 2-1 count now for Blaine Riddle. And the one thing I notice about Jacoby versus Evan Price is that Jacoby does not have near the velocity that Price did.
No, he doesn't. And
And a swing and a miss by Riddle. Now a 2-2 count with 2 outs. And the Bruins should start hitting off of this pitcher, Jacoby,
yes, it looks
soon.
like we can hit off of him.
And Riddle's going to take one in the bat and take his base on first. No, what?
No, they didn't say it hit him.
What?
I thought that ball hit him.
So we have a 3-2 count, and I need to take him off of first there. And Riddle must have moved out of the way of that one, and now he is definitely going to take his base with the walk on this one.
Well, here's Jake Ross batting. He can really help himself out. He's popped to the third baseman and line drive to the third baseman. And
Ross now the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th batter of the bottom of the 5th inning.
You know, with Ross hitting the ball well, let's see if he tries to send Riddle to second sometime during this this at bat.
So Jacoby is still out of the stretch, and a swing and a miss by Ross is the first strike.
And Mr. Riddle got a good read on the pitcher. He was way off there toward second. If he's going to run, he'll probably be on this pitch or the next one. The next 2 pitches he'll be running if he's going to run.
Jacoby out of the stretch, took a look at Riddle, and then Ross is going to drive one out into left field. A line drive that gets by the infield for a base hit. And now the Bruins again with runners on first and second and 2 outs. And that's going to bring up the freshman Drew Caldwell, who singled into right field and grounded out to the shortstop in the last inning.
Yes, so Drew, he's got great speed. Now Coach Hugan looks like he's going to make a change talking to the umpire. I think we're having a runner for Jake Ross. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's number 15.
Brian, that's Cranston, isn't it? Or is that, I'm sorry, that's Ridge Dunica.
Ridge Dunica, all right.
So Ridge Dunica seeing his first running attempt today out for varsity. Hanging out on first base for Jake Ross. Drew Caldwell at the plate, and Blaine Riddle out on second. And Caldwell's going to foul his first pitch off behind the first base or the visitor's dugout.
That was a great move because Ridge Dunica's got great speed.
An 0-1 count now for Drew Caldwell.
And this young man can run fast too, Caldwell. So if he can get it on the ground somewhere. Shortstop really playing deep for Rossville.
And that pitch comes in, and that was definitely a strike call on the outside corner, about thigh high for Caldwell, but he lays off of it. Now he's down 0-2 in the count.
Second way over there behind the bag now, close to the base.
And the way Caldwell's been hitting them today, this one may just go over to right field again.
Big gap out there between first and second base.
And he's going to ground this one over to the shortstop. The shortstop's going to make a throw over to the first baseman, and that's going to do it for the 5th inning. And with that, we'll be back with the 6th inning as the Bruins lead 3-2 over the Rossville Hornets.
While filling your car's fuel tank at Food and Fuel Marathon, fill your body's fuel tank too. Monday through Friday, grab a chicken or tenderloin sandwich, or have out a burger and potato wedges, or onion chips, mozzarella cheese sticks, and Bosco breadsticks. If biscuits and gravy are your thing, they're available every Monday through Saturday morning until they're gone. And you'll have to grab a Poppy's Extreme donut or two, available daily. Food and Fuel Marathon, 1621 North Walnut Street, Hartford City. Open Monday through Friday, 4:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Food and Fuel Marathon, fueling your vehicle and you.
This 5th inning recap is brought to you by Peyton's Northern. A Kroger company is hiring in Bluffton. A successful applicant will need to be 18 years of age, have the ability to work weekends, holidays, and overtime, can operate motorized equipment, complete strength and endurance testing, pass a pre-employment and background screen, work 10-hour shifts, and lift 55 pounds. All qualified applicants are encouraged to apply for this opportunity online at jobs.kroger.com. Click on Logistics and Distribution Jobs and search for Bluffton. For questions, call Peyton Staffing Center at 260-827-2108 or 2109. Vince, what's your recap?
Well, we batted 7 batters that inning. We Blackford does what they need to do. 2 runs on 4 hits. Rossville does not make an error. Blackford leaves 2 runners on base. And after 5 innings, Blackford leads 3-2. For the Bruins, 3 runs, 13 hits. 9 hits. We have 3 runs on 9 hits. Rossville, 2 runs on 4 hits. And Blackford has made 3 errors, and Rossville's made 1. So with their 2 errors the last inning, it didn't cost us a run or anything as we got out of the inning. And now Rossville's at hitters 6, 7, 8, 9. And we got to get through here without letting them score.
And 2 of those errors came in the last inning in the top of the 5th, and now in the top of the 6th, we've got Nolan Starkey at the plate, the designated hitter who started off as the designated hitter, now playing shortstop.
Yes, he's singled and he's had a squeeze bunt.
Yep.
So a good athlete, both defensively and offensively in baseball.
And Ross delivers that pitch, and that's going to be right over to Tyler Cagle. Tyler Cagle picks it up on the bounce for the first out.
And it looks like Starkey, after he hit the ball, swung at that pitch, saw it was going to Cagle, looked pretty disappointed in himself.
Yep, and now we're going to have Soyseth.
But that was a great pitch by Jacob Ross. You pitch to where the umpire's calling them. If he's calling them that low outside, you stick them right there till they put the ball in play.
Absolutely, and this one's by Soyseth is going to be hit up the middle out into center field for a base hit. Soyseth now 2 for 3 on the evening.
He struck out 2 singles. I think Jake Ross got the ball too much over the middle of the plate on that one.
Absolutely, and now we're going to have the bottom of the lineup, Ben Rodkey up to the plate. Rodkey was hit by the pitch and then got caught in a 6-4 out, a fielder's choice, and grounded out to shortstop in his his second at bat. Takes the first pitch for strike 1, an 0-1 count.
He has number 12 in the game now in the 8th spot. Okay. It was Gabe Grizzle.
And now it's Ray. Is it Ray Rodkey?
Number 12, yes, Ray Rodkey.
Ray Rodkey. Sorry about that. This is Ray Rodkey's first at bat as he has a 1-1 count now, and he's going to drive one out into right center field for a base hit. And Soyseth is rounding second, going to third as Rodkey stays on first base.
Nice job of hitting by Ray Rodkey. That puts runners on the corners. Here comes Coach Hugan out to have a chat with his pitcher and his whole infield.
Yeah, the Bruins with only 1 out on the Hornets, leading just by 1 run. And the
Ben Rodkey will be the batter, number 9.
Right, and the Hornets are 2 for 3 on this, with their first 3 batters.
Yes, and the only out they've got so far was Nolan Starkey grounding out to Tyler Cagle.
Right.
And right after he hit the ball and saw where it was going, he looked like he was really frustrated.
Yep.
So we need an out here. Rossville's got a lot of options here that they can use.
Yes, they do, and they're still calling those numbers out. And as I see some more bullpen action in the
Rossville
bullpen, number 22, Kelton Saylor, looks like he's warming up. Saylor, on the season, his ERA is this ball is an infield fly, and Braxton Straight comes over and makes that catch for the second out of the inning. But Saylor on the season has an ERA of 4.59 with only 12 strikeouts.
Okay, well, here's the leadoff batter, Dawson Jacoby. He's flied to the shortstop straight, reached on the fielder's choice straight to Riddle, and reached on an air on Blaine Riddle. So it looks like he's an up-the-middle hitter.
Yes, he is, and the Bruins need to play that middle to keep this ball in the infield as Jake Ross steps off the mound to get the runners to go back.
Yes, we just can't make an error here with 2 outs.
No, we can't. We cannot afford it today. Ross is out of the stretch, checking on the runners at first and third, delivers the pitch, and it's on the outside corner. And the umpire, again, takes his time calling that strike.
Well, okay, that Ray Rodkey was way off the base at first. It looks like he was ready to run.
And Ross with another one. They're calling that one just a little bit high. A 1-1 count now for Jacoby.
Of course, when you got a catcher like Kyle Mealy, if you want to say a cannon for an arm.
Caleb Mealy, not Kyle. Kyle was his uncle.
Kyle Mealy, I'm sorry. Kyle was his uncle. Well, Caleb's got a rocket for an arm.
Yes, he does, and that breaking ball lands in the strike zone, and now Jacoby has a 1-2 count.
Boy, the umpire is really looking over those pitches.
He may be calling them before we see his hand raised up, but he is taking a while to raise that hand and call it a strike.
There goes the
and
runner.
Now they're going to get the runner in. And now they're going to get Soyseth in a rundown, and they Caldwell throws it away, and now the Rossville Hornets are going to tie it up.
Well, there's the error that I said we had to keep away from making. And my goodness, we had that runner dead to rights.
And instead of having a runner on first and third, now we've got a runner on third again in scoring position, and the Bruins just cannot keep from keeping those errors.
It was a great move by Jacob Ross. He had him dead off first. They got him in a run down between first and second, then threw the ball to the catcher Mealy. We had him in a run down.
And Jacoby's going to reach out and fly this one out to Tyler Cagle. And with that, we're going to be back after this message.
Foundations Building Material is proud to support Blackford High School athletics. Foundation Building Material is your local building materials distributor in East Central Indiana. Our promise to our customers is to do business with integrity and honesty and strive to be the best every day. And never forget, we work for you, our customers. We are founded on principle and built on purpose. Distributors of drywall, steel studs, Armstrong ceiling, and insulation. Call Aaron Farrell, 260-471-2181. Foundations Building Materials.
And this recap's going to be brought to you by Clear Choice Chiropractic. If you're suffering from neck or back pain, or suffering from migraines, or you have a colicky baby, call Dr. Malia Robertson at Clear Choice Chiropractic. They have many techniques to relieve these and many more symptoms with chiropractic care. Located at 1501 North Walnut in Hartford City. Vince?
Well, in bottom of the sixth inning, Rossville 1 run. That would be an unearned run. There were 2 hits, singles by Mark Soyseth and by Ray Rodkey. They had Rodkey picked off first, and then a run down between first and second. The runner broke for home. They threw it home. They had him in a nice rundown. Looked like they should have had him out, and then Drew Caldwell, the freshman at third base, been too big of a hurry in his throw over Mealy's head, over the backup player's head. Run scores. But the good thing is we only limited to 1 run. 1 run on 2 hits, an error, and 1 runner's left. So after 6 innings, we're tied. Or after 5.5 innings, we're tied 5-5. We're at hitters 7, 8, 9.
And we are having Saylor as a pitcher.
We are hitters 8, 9, and 1. So we got to score a run here in the 6th inning.
And Saylor is the new pitcher for the Hornets. Again, a 4.59 ERA with 12 strikeouts on the season. And the Bruins are going to be putting Kyle Price at the plate. Price has hit 2 home runs in JV appearances in the last 2 weeks. I don't remember when the first one was, but his first 2 of his junior year playing JV, now getting the varsity start as the designated hitter.
Well, that's good. I said the toughest thing that I heard about Major League players calling was when you haven't played in a while, coming off the bench to pinch hit in a crucial situation. That's the way Price was the other day when we played. I can't mention when he got to the plate and he got him a base hit the first at bat.
Yep,
in a while.
And Price goes 1-1 in the count. The first pitch, a ball. The second one on the outside corner for a strike, and he's going to swing and miss on that pitch. And now he's down in the count, 1-2.
Well, today's fly to third was hit by a pitch. We need to get Kyle on base any way we can.
Yes, we do.
Strobel's on deck.
And that breaking ball, and Price is going to drive it out to right field, but out of play for a foul ball.
That had a late break on the ball by Kelton Saylor's pitch, and Price just went with it and hit it down the right field line foul.
And Price is choked up just a little bit on the bat, and that pitch is going to be in the dirt for a ball.
The umpire looked that one over, and I thought he was going to have the delayed strike 3, and he shook his head no to the pitcher. So.
And he got the 2-2 count now as Saylor delivers this one, a swing and a miss on the high ball, and Price is going to go down for his first strikeout of the game.
Yes, that was a high fastball right around the letters.
And we're going to have Brandon Strobel in now for Peyton Hurd at the plate.
Maybe Strobel was due, Steve. After him's top of the order with Elam and Straight, so we need a bat down to Mealy this inning.
And that first pitch is the umpire's calling low for ball one. He
started to raise that right hand, then decided to lower it.
I think he was telling him, hey, you need to bring it up.
Oh, okay, you need to bring the pitch up.
And he does bring that one up, and he gets the strike call for a 1-1 count now for Strobel with one out, and the Bruins tied here in the top of the sixth with the Hornets.
The umpire must be verbally saying strike before he raises his hand.
And that's probably not something you and I can hear as we have these big earmuffs with the headset
closed.
And now Strobel's 1-2 in the count as Coach Ugan down there giving some advice.
The game time temperature when we started again was 70 degrees. I have to look down at my paper.
And that breaking ball is going to get Strobel going down looking, and you could see it on his face. He knew it when it broke.
So back-to-back strikeouts by Kelton Saylor. And now we got top of the order up with Shane Elam. Singled in the first, old second was out trying to advance to third. Bounced to the shortstop in the second inning and grounded to the shortstop in the fifth inning.
And Saylor starting this game off with 12 strikeouts, now increases to 14 on the season. Delivers this pitch out of the windup, a breaking ball that is too far inside for ball one.
I think this Mr. Saylor has a nice breaking ball as a pitch.
Yes, he does. And he's still out of the windup, and he throws another one inside. The umpire saying too far inside. Now a 2-0 count, down in the count for against Elam. And a fastball down the middle gets Elam swing and a miss. A 2-1 count.
He just blew that one right by him.
Yes, he did.
Coach Hugan showed him to keep his shoulders down and.
Another fastball, and Elam's going to foul this one off just behind the visitors' dugout for a 2-2 count.
Yes, Mr. Shane Elam's a great leadoff batter, great hitter at times, great speed. He can run.
Elam 0 for 3 on the game. No, he did. He got a single to the shortstop in the first, so he's
inning.
1 for 3 as he fouls this one off, still staying 2-2 in the count.
That was straight back, Steve. He's right on him. He just needs to. The infielders are really deep again for Rossville. Of course,
and Elam's going to foul another one off to stay at the plate.
I think the catcher cut that off his fingers. That's why you want to keep a fist doubled up, so you don't, break a finger. The young man must have had it right off he must have had it on the fist right off the knuckles.
A 2-2 count, and Elam takes that pitch outside and high for a 3-2 count. After going 2-0 and then 0-2.
Yes. Here's a big pitch of the game. We need Elam on base. Rossville doesn't want him to get there.
And that one's going to be thrown in the dirt, and Elam's going to take his base out on first, and that's going to bring Braxton Straight up to the plate. Elam now still 1 for 3 on the game with a walk.
That was a great at-bat for Shane.
Yes, it
Falling
was.
behind, was it 2 strikes to say, or was he had 2 balls?
He was ahead 2-0 and then went 2-2 and then went 3-2, and now we're going to have Braxton Straight, who is 2 for 3 on the day. And Straight's going to hit a high fly ball. This one's going to be the catcher's getting underneath of it. He's got a good eye on it. catches it down by his chest, and that's going to do it for the sixth inning. And with that, we'll be back with the top of the seventh after these words from our sponsors.
While filling your car's fuel tank at Food and Fuel Marathon, fill your body's fuel tank too. Monday through Friday, grab a chicken or tenderloin sandwich, or have out a burger and potato wedges, or onion chips, mozzarella cheese sticks, and Bosco breadsticks. If biscuits and gravy are your thing, they're available every Monday through Saturday morning until they're gone. And you'll have to grab a Poppy's Extreme donut or two, available daily. Food and Fuel Marathon, 1621 North Walnut Street, Hartford City. Open Monday through Friday, 4:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Food and Fuel Marathon, fueling your vehicle and you.
So we're back. The Bruins still holding on to a 3-3 tie in the top of the seventh. And what are the recap of the last half inning?
Yes, well, Mr. Kelton Saylor came on, striking out the first two batters. Very impressive. Elam and Saylor in a great batter-pitcher matchup. Shane won the battle by drawing a walk, and then straight swings at the first pitch and pops it up to the catcher. That was Colton Beard going away, making a catch, a basket catch. That's hard to do, with the catcher's glove.
Yes, it is.
With the catcher's glove, it's a lot harder to field than a fielder's glove. And if you use a first baseman's glove at first base, it's a lot easier to field than that. We have to have a catcher's mitt in baseball.
A lot of padding in the catcher's mitt and a lot of non-padding in that first baseman's glove, but a bigger glove.
It's a bigger glove, yes.
To field those ones that are in the dirt. And this one's going to be drove out to left field. Dayton Dow, the diving catch, and makes the catch for the out. He caught it. A nice play by the senior Dayton Dow. Stretching out for that one, and that's going to be what the Bruins need to get started here.
Evan Price was robbed. That reminds me of the catch by the left fielder over at Alexandria, I believe, when that young man dove, and that was basically the momentum that led Alexandria to the victory. So maybe this one will get the Bruins to victory.
And this is Kelton Saylor, the pitcher, up to the plate. He takes the first pitch for ball one with one out for the Rossville Hornets.
I mean, Dow saw that ball breaking away from him. He just stuck out that right hand. He's a left-hander.
And this one's another one that's going to be hit foul for a 1-1 count.
A great diving catch. If he hadn't come up with that ball, it was going to be at least a double.
Yes, it would have. Once you dive for a ball like that and you don't make the play, chances are it's going to go behind you as it's done with Brandon Strobel, and I believe
that batter was trained to bunt.
And it looks like he did get a hold of it, but it went foul. Maybe it went off the butt of the bat.
This is the pitcher Kelton Saylor batting. He's flied to center, walked and scored, and reached on an air.
The booth has him as a 1-2 count. I didn't see. He held both arms up like he was calling a foul ball, so we're going to call it a 1-2 count now for Saylor. And Ross throws that one just a little bit high. Now a 2-2 count, waiting for the umpire to give the signal for the count, as the batter Saylor still talking to him about that last strike call.
Yes, and Jacob Ross looking more confident on the mound now. When you get a good defensive play behind you, you think, you don't need to strike them all out.
Right. Ross with the breaking ball gets Saylor swinging and fouls it off. Still staying in at the plate with a 2-2 count.
Yes, Caldwell's even with the bag at third, straight, and Riddle are real deep, and Kegel's even with the bag at first.
And that pitch hits the outside corner, and Saylor's going to go down looking for the first strikeout of the game. Oh, no, that's the second strikeout of the game.
For Rossville, yes. Peyton Hurd had one in the second on Soyseth, and now Ross with his first strikeout in relief.
And Rossville bringing up their catcher Colton Beard to the plate, who is 1 for 3 on the game, and 2 outs.
Flagged the left, angled, and popped to the third baseman.
And that pitch by Ross, a breaking ball, not a breaking ball. I believe that one was a changeup. Just misses on the inside corner for a ball.
I have Colton Beard with an RBI in the game, too.
And this one's going to be grounded over to the shortstop, Braxton straight all the way over to Tyler Cagle, and the Bruins are going to have a chance that all they need is a walk-off to score, and we will win this game. So with that, we'll be back after these words.
Are you looking for a job or know of someone who is? Peyton's Northern, a Kroger company, is now hiring. At Peyton's, you'll get a job with career advancement opportunities, employee discounts, tuition reimbursement, and educational assistance. A successful applicant will need to be 18 years of age, have the ability to work weekends, holidays, and overtime, can operate motorized equipment, complete strength and endurance testing, pass a pre-employment and background screens, work 10-hour shifts, and lift 55 pounds. At Peyton's, we offer matching 401k retirement savings, paid incentive days, personal and vacation days, and you'll receive Kroger benefits after 60 days. All qualified applicants are encouraged to apply for this opportunity online at jobs.kroger.com. Click on Logistics and Distribution Jobs and search for Bluffton. For questions, call Peyton Staffing Center at 260-827-2108 or 2109. That's jobs.kroger.com. 260-827-2108. Peyton's Northern, now hiring.
Well, Vince, the Bruins hold the Hornets scoreless in the top of the 7th, and now this is our chance. All we need is one run to win this game.
One run to win. The inning started off with Price line driving down the left field and what a catch by Dayton Dow. That could have been a game saver. Definitely a momentum switch, as Price flied out to Dow, and then a strikeout by Ross, and then a ground ball to third, so they go down in order. Rossville does, top of the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Rossville and Blackford are tied 3-3. For Rossville, they have 3 runs, 6 hits, and the Bruins have committed 4 errors. For Blackford, we have 3 runs on 9 hits, and Rossville has committed 1 error.
So the errors are the difference of this game. A breaking ball by Saylor hits the outside corner of the strike zone for Caleb Mealy, an 0-1 count as Mealy is 2 for 3 on the day.
Yes, a double, fly out, and a single.
Another breaking ball misses outside, a 1-1 count now for the sophomore catcher. And look who's up on deck, Dayton Dow.
Dayton Dow, yes.
After making that great diving catch. As you said at Alexandria, it's usually that person that comes up, and it was that kid who made that diving catch at Alexandria that came up and drove in a run for Alexandria to start their rally.
Yes, and Dow's batting second in this inning. A
swing and a miss by Mealy, now 2-2 in the count.
You don't want to do too much, Caleb. Just put the ball in play like you have, and you'll probably find a hole.
Yes,
they're playing really deep all the way around the infield.
And this pitcher looks like he has more velocity than the first 2 pitchers, and he throws one that misses on the outside for a 3-2 count. The catcher tries holding it there to get the umpire to call the strike.
Yes, he was trying to frame it where you outside, bring it in a little bit. He's looking to the dugout for the sign, the catcher is.
Yes, he is, and now Saylor out of the wind-up. And Mealy's going to foul it off behind the press box. Still a 3-2 count for Caleb Mealy, the leadoff batter in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Bruins tied 3-3 with Rossville. Saylor still pitching out of the wind-up. Looking in for the sign, gets it, starts his wind-up, delivers the pitch, and Mealy swinging a miss, and he's going down.
Well, that's another strikeout for the pitcher, Kelton Saylor. He struck out 3 batters now in 5, facing 5 batters, striking out 3. There's Dayton Dow. It'd be great to see him get a hold of one and in this game.
Worst case scenario with this half inning is the Bruins take it into extra innings as Dow takes that first pitch, and I believe I do hear the umpire calling the strike and then slowly getting up and and waving his hand for the strike.
He's calling the strike, and then he's raising his hand after his strike call. Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's what's going on. I'm going to listen with my headset off. And, of course, nothing with swing and a miss by Dow. Now Dow down at 0-2 in the count. Saylor looking for the pitch call, shakes his head yes, starts the pitch delivery, and this one's going to be inside and gets behind the catcher. A 1-2 count now for the senior left-handed batter, Dayton Dow.
Blaine Riddle on deck. He walked the last time and struck out the first two. Dow's had two singles and a double. He's 3 for 3 this game.
3 for 3 for the senior Dayton Dow, and now Saylor with the pitch. That one's going to be way outside, and now Dow evens up the count 2-2.
Yes, we need Dayton on base. Coach Hugan standing down behind third base, his hands folded.
And Dow again now with the count 3-2.
Now showing encouragement to Dayton Dow.
This is the coldest day that we've had in May for baseball,
really?
With 70-some degrees. And that pitch, a swing and a miss by Dow. He swings at the high one, and the Bruins now have 2 outs with no runners on.
A good catch by the catcher, too, because if he hadn't cut the ball, they would have had to either tag Dow or throw him out at first base. 2 strikeouts for Kelton Saylor. That's his second in the inning, 4th in relief. And now here's Blaine Riddle.
Blaine Riddle, as you said, 0 for 2 on the season, or on the day with a walk, and he gets a drive out into left field. The left fielder's on his way back, but he looks like and this ball is going to land down the warning track as Riddle rounds second, and he's going to stay at second. Hugan's got him held up. A nice stand-up double by Blaine Riddle. The double out into left field. The left fielder struggled to catch it. Now we've got a visit to the mound by the coach of the Rossville Hornets.
Yes, I thought at first the left fielder was going to catch the ball. I'm not for sure who's out there in left field. Is that Reed Douglas or?
I'm not sure.
No,
I'm not sure. It's right-handed, so it's definitely not Evan Price. And I can't read the numbers. It's number 34. That's the former shortstop, Nolan Starkey out in left field.
Well,
he missed a big play there to get the third out and to take this game into extra innings.
I thought he was going to make a catch, and I couldn't tell. Then next thing I know, I thought it was a home run. Then I saw Coach Hugan waving Riddle around, but evidently Blaine wasn't get down there soon enough. But it's a nice hit for Blaine Riddle, a stand-up double. And I heard Jacob Ross pop to third, line to third, and singled. So a base hit by Jake, and this game will be over. A
base hit, and this game will definitely be over with the speed that Blaine Riddle has running the bases. 2 outs, so you're going on anything.
Yes, and Caldwell's on deck.
And the Bruins could come away with the win, upsetting Rossville with their 14-9 record, and the Bruins with their 10-15 record. So Saylor out of the stretch, and Ross is going to hit a high fly ball, and this might do it for the inning. And we're going into extra innings with that one, and we'll be back after this word.
Locally owned, Straits Drywall and Paint, LLC, owned by Jeff and Aubrey Strait, have 30 years of experience in commercial and residential painting and drywall finishing. Straits Drywall and Paint can do anything from new construction to remodels. Does your home need a new touch of color inside or out? Call Jeff or Aubrey at 765-499-9416 for a free quote. Straits Drywall and Paint, LLC. Insured painters with the professional skills necessary to complete your project on time and within budget.
Foundations Building Material is proud to support Blackford High School athletics. Foundation Building Material is your local building materials distributor in East Central Indiana. Our promise to our customers is to do business with integrity and honesty and strive to be the best every day. And never forget, we work for you, our customers. We are founded on principle and built on purpose. Distributors of drywall, steel studs, Armstrong ceiling, and insulation. Call Aaron Farrell, 260-471-2181. Foundations Building Materials.
We're back here, coming into the top of the 8th inning. The Bruins and the Rossville Hornets going into extra innings today at Bruin Field. And there is some bullpen action in the Hornets side. And Vince, do you have a recap before we get into any of that?
Yes, after Kelton Sadler struck out the first two batters in Mealy and Dow, which is hard to do, Riddle hit a double. Then Jake Ross flied out to the second baseman, who made a nice catch. So we go to the 8th inning after 7 innings. Blackford 3 runs. 10 hits now, 4 errors. And Rossville 3 runs, 6 hits. And they've committed 1 error.
And that's going to bring Adam Terrell, who is 0 for 3 on the day, due for a hit to lead off the 8th inning.
He's grounded out to the third baseman twice and flied to center. Nolan Starkey will be on deck.
And a check swing by Terrell, and that pitch is on the outside, a 1-0 count. Ross out of the stretch, delivers that one right down the middle, and Terrell's going to foul one off. A 1-1 count now for Terrell, who again is 0 for 3 on the day, grounding out to third in his first 2 at-bats and flying out to center in his last at-bats. And it looks like he is swinging for the fences, and this one's going to be a line drive out into center. And Shane Elam tries for the diving catch, but doesn't come up with the ball. And Terrell's going to get his first base hit of the game out in center field.
Great effort by Shane Elam trying to dive and catch the ball. Fortunately, I think it hit in his glove and bounced out on his way to the ground.
Yeah, it looked like it
did not
from here.
roll behind him, so Terrell held to a single. That's good news.
And now we've got Nolan Starkey, who's played 3 different positions today. He started off as the DH, went to shortstop, and finishing out in left field. But Starkey is 1 for 3, and this pitch is going to get behind Caleb Mealy as Terrell makes his way to second. I believe they've got a pinch runner in there for him.
Okay, well Starkey had singled, then a squeeze sacrifice bunt, and then grounded out to Cagle at first.
So that would be considered
so
1 for 1.
So it'd be 1 for 2.
1 for 2. That's what I meant.
With the squeeze bunt and an RBI. Shows bunt.
And he's showing bunt, and the runner was already moving, so they've got a runner in scoring position as Starkey is out at first with another sac bunt.
There'll be another sacrifice bunt, 1 to 3.
And now, like I said, Rossville with a runner on third in scoring position with only 1 out, tie ball game, 3 to 3. And Soyseth, who had a monster hit out into center field and another one out into left field, his last two at bats, after striking out in the first inning.
2
the second
for 3,
inning.
and he scored when Caldwell threw the ball over Mealy's head.
Exactly, a breaking ball.
And a rundown.
And the umpire calls that one a strike, an 0-1 count for Soyseth. A strikeout is exactly what the Bruins need here. As another squeeze play, and this one, Mealy's unable to handle the ball, and he was looking at Jake Ross because it didn't look like Jake Ross was there, and now we're going to call a timeout.
Well, that was a tough play, a nice squeeze bunt that went for a base hit. Well, basically the difference of this game, if you look at it, has been Rossville's effective bunting and Blackford's lack of it at times.
Yes, Blackford has not been able to lay down a good bunt in the last couple weeks, and that's got to disappoint Tony Eugen tremendously here as Rossville now takes a 4-3 lead.
Yes, so it's a nice bunt. Mealy went to field. It looked like he was going to go to home with it. There was no one there at home. Of course, Jacob Ross is not going to beat the runner from third base to home.
Nope, they were definitely doing the suicide squeeze as the runner on third was going on the pitch.
The runner was running from third. Again, he just got the bunt down, a beautiful bunt, base hit. Now here's Ray Rodney, I think. Rodkey.
And no, it's not going to be Ray Rodkey, and this might be trouble.
Game Grizzle back in that lineup.
And did it go foul?
I think the umpire motioned foul, the home plate umpire.
And they did motion for it foul as as it looked like the first base coach was calling for his runner to stay on first, but it was a foul ball called, and luckily for the Bruins, because both runners would have been safe. Nobody had a chance to get to it. It must have just barely went foul.
Yeah. Game Grizzle was a batter. He started the game at second base.
And this fastball is going to be hit out into right field. Strobel. Oh! I'm not sure why Strobel didn't try to throw the ball over to first to get the out there. And now the Rossville has 2 outs with a runner on first.
And here comes Ben Rodkey. He's been hit by the pitch, ground the short, popped up to the shortstop, and then he was forced at second after being hit by the pitch. There's a foul ball.
And Caldwell lets this one roll foul instead of picking it up and making the throw to Tyler Cagle for the out.
Probably a good idea.
So Rodkey with a 0-1 count to start off with. Runner still on first. Rossville leading by 1 after that suicide squeeze at home. Ross out of the stretch, the breaking ball, and Mealy struggles with the handle but keeps the ball in front of him, and Soyseth stays at first. It is Soyseth, isn't it?
Yes, good job by Caleb Mealy blocking that ball. He's all over the place. He's been like a hockey goalie, and
he has definitely been a brick wall behind there, and
that looks like once he's been calling strike, and then he didn't call that one.
It looks like he said that one was a little bit low, a 2-1 count, as the umpire is starting to be inconsistent with his calls. And now Ross puts that one down the middle, or over to third base. Caldwell to Cagle, and Cagle's going to stretch out for the out.
That's a great throw there by the freshman Caldwell.
That's right, and we'll be back after this message with a word, or with the recap.
The Voice of Blackford County Community Newspaper is your hometown newspaper with a staff that takes great pride in covering local community events in Hartford City and Montpelier. Available at newsstands in Hartford City at Needler's Fresh Market, Food and Fuel, John's Service Station, Northside Florist, and in Montpelier at Koffels Family Market, Carrie's Restaurant, and Charlie's Sunoco, with more locations coming soon. The Voice of Blackford County is published every Tuesday with a cost of only $1 or a yearly subscription for $35. You'll find school-related events, obituaries, public records info, church news, community calendar, and so much more. Contact Danny at 765-251-4903 or Ann at 765-330-4842. The Voice of Blackford County Community Newspaper. Local news about local people.
All right, Vince, we're back here in the bottom of the 8th inning as the Bruins take the Rossville Hornets into extra innings, and we've got a new pitcher out on the mound. But do you have a recap for us?
Yes, I do. Adam Terrell singled. Nolan Starkey with the sacrifice bunt. Mark Soyseth with the squeeze bunt to score Terrell. Grizzle fly to right, and Ben Rodkey was retired. A good play by Caldwell. The third baseman drew Caldwell to Cagle. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Instead of needing a 1 run to win, we need 1 run to send it to the 9th, 2 runs to win. So in the bottom of the 8th inning, we're going to have hitters 7, 8, 9. Drew Caldwell, Kyle Price, and Brandon Strobel.
And as the Bruins have been struggling here in the last few innings with the strikeouts, I thought there was a change out on the mound, but it is still going to be Kelton Saylor pulling the pitching duties. They had whoever was out at shortstop was at the pitcher's mound, and then they made a last-minute change and kept Saylor in it.
Okay, Saylor struck out 4 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's faced 8 batters and struck out 4, so I'll say he's in a groove.
Yeah, that's definitely the one you want to take.
Let's see if Caldwell can get on base here. Let's see if Fugan has him bunt.
And I can definitely hear the umpire calling the strike. It's a long, drawn-out strike call. An 0-1 count now for the freshman Drew Caldwell. And Caldwell takes that pitch in the dirt, a 1-1 count.
Third baseman thinking the same way I was. He's up on the grass, and he was charging that time.
And Caldwell has yet to square up to bunt, and he swings away and fouls one off.
Well, he's 1 for 3. He's singled, and he's bounced to the shortstop twice, so he's hit the ball every time. So
Yep, a 1-2 count, but he still is 1 for 3 on the day. And he takes that one, checks the swing as it breaks into the dirt. A breaking ball, now even up in the count 2-2.
That was a good check swing. That ball just tailed away and kept going to the outside. Caldwell able to hold up.
A good job by Beard behind the plate. And a swing on a high inside pitch. I'm not sure why he was swinging at that one, but he goes down swinging for the first out of the inning.
Well, another strikeout by the pitcher, Kelton Saylor. That's right. That's his 5th strikeout here in 3 innings.
And the Hornets are going to make another pitching change. And while they're doing that, let's go to another one of our sponsor videos, and we'll be back.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter up for Blackford.
Locally owned, Straits Drywall and Paint, LLC, owned by Jeff and Aubrey Strait, have 30 years of experience in commercial and residential painting and drywall finishing. Straits Drywall and Paint can do anything from new construction to remodels. Does your home need a new touch of color inside or out? Call Jeff or Aubrey at 765-499-9416 for a free quote. Straits Drywall and Paint, LLC. Insured painters with the professional skills necessary to complete your project on time and within budget. Dr. Malia Robertson of Clear Choice Chiropractic asks, do you suffer from neck pain while working, or do migraines keep you from enjoying your day? Do you have to take pain pills just to function? Does your baby cry constantly for no apparent reason? And most importantly, do you remember the last day you were pain-free? You don't have to live with these frustrations. The doctors at Clear Choice Chiropractic have many techniques to relieve the symptoms of neck and back pain, headaches, stiff joints, colic, earaches, and many other symptoms. Call for your appointment with Dr. Malia Robertson at Clear Choice Chiropractic, 765-329-5044. That's 329-5044.
And we're back a little bit early from that break. The Rossville Hornets have made a pitching change, and they're coming back. Their starting pitcher, Evan Price.
Yeah.
And Jennings is the
Pinch hitter.
The hitter for this appearance. Now 0-1 as he fouls that one off. Only one out for the Bruins in the bottom of the 8th. No runners on, no score. And he's going to ground this one over to the third baseman. The third baseman takes a couple crow steps and throws it over to first, and that's going to do it. The second out of the inning for the Bruins.
Good play by the third baseman. He fielded the ball, got it secured in his glove, took a couple of steps, like Steve said, crow hops, and perfect strike to the first baseman for the out. Nice play by Rossville. Now we're down to our final out in Brandon Strobel.
And Brandon Strobel struck out looking his last at bat. This one's grounded to the shortstop, and a close play at first, and the umpire calls him out to get his ride home, and we're going to be back after this with the final recap of the game as the Bruins go down 4-3 to the Rossville Hornets.
While filling your car's fuel tank at Food and Fuel Marathon, fill your body's fuel tank too. Monday through Friday, grab a chicken or tenderloin sandwich, or have out a burger and potato wedges, or onion chips, mozzarella cheese sticks, and Bosco breadsticks. If biscuits and gravy are your thing, they're available every Monday through Saturday morning until they're gone. And you'll have to grab a Poppy's Extreme donut or two, available daily. Food and Fuel Marathon, 1621 North Walnut Street, Hartford City. Open Monday through Friday, 4:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Food and Fuel Marathon, fueling your vehicle and you.
Well, Vince, this is one of the most heartbreaking losses that I've been here with the Bruins on, as they drop 4-3 to the Rossville Hornets. One of their better games that they've played this season, I thought. Yeah. If you take away the errors, it's another win for the Bruins. But with all the errors that they had, they fall 4-3.
Yes, I was really impressed with Rossville, especially their pitcher. Their third one was Kelton Saylor, who faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 batters, striking out 5 of Price. So the starter would be picking up the save for Mr. Kelton Saylor would be the winner. And in a heartbreaking loss, Jake Ross will be the losing pitcher. I thought Peyton Hurd pitched a good game, not only because of he's your son, was because of his effort. Batting for Peyton Hurd was a single and line drive to right. The big thing was when Peyton hit the ball to right field, the line drive to the right fielder, that's when the young player, Isaac Justice, was doubled off second. That was the big play of the game, the double play. I thought when Dayton Dow made the diving catch out in the left field in top of the 8th, and we got out of the inning, or top of the 7th, that was. We got out of the inning, and the only thing we needed to do was score a run, but again, Mealy and Dow strike out, and they very seldom do that back-to-back. Riddle doubled. And then Ross popped the second, and then Rossville, excellent job. Final score, Rossville 4, Blackford 3. Rossville in the gear to 15-9, and Blackford drops to 10-16.
10-16 on the season. The next game is going to be Monday versus
Peru
at Peru. Not sure that we're actually going to be able to broadcast that game. It's been a struggle for me to get into the booth as I've been battling some back pain and actually had to go to the ER. So not sure that we're going to broadcast that game, but if I get to feeling better, I will make the call.
All right.
And at least get over there to try to get the game shown to our viewers.
And if you go to Peru, I'll go with you. And the other game coming up will be the sectional at Yorktown. We play Yorktown. And due to the IHSAA fee that they have, I do not know. That's why hardly anybody broadcasts sectional games, or you have to pay a fee.
You have to pay a fee to IHSAA to broadcast any sectional, regional, semi-state, or state game. So they have that pretty well locked down. So we'll just continue to do the regular season games, and we'll just enjoy the sectionals and anything farther that any more distance that we get onto out in the bleachers. So the Bruins another upsetting loss today as Rossville travels a pretty far distance, a late start game at 6 o'clock. And we'll probably have about the same thing as we travel to Peru. Probably be about a 5:30, 5:45
I would
start
imagine.
time.
Rossville, I know, is 128. They're over towards Lafayette. I know that, and I'm glad that they got to come over here again. I think this is the first time ever Blackford has faced Rossville in any sports. Anyway, the football, basketball, and baseball I know of. So.
Right, and definitely a beatable team. I to be honest with you, the only thing that they did better than us today was
bunt the ball.
They bunted the ball extremely well, and they limited themselves to just one error on the game.
Yes, a very solid.
The Bruins
game.
had, I believe, at last count 4 errors on the game, which is really starting to cost them a winning record. And if it weren't for the errors, the Bruins might be 15 or 20 and 8.
Yes,
or 20 and 5 or whatever it would be.
You got to get great pitching. You got to play great defense.
I think we have the pitching. It's the defense, I believe, is hurting us. We have to limit the errors, and we have to limit. We have to start being able to put the ball into play when we need the bunt. We have to be able to put that bunt down.
Our lack of failure or lack of success in bunting the ball. I'm just looking down here. Rossville had 8 hits, and I imagine 3 of them were on bunts.
Yeah, matter of fact, I have it each time they've bunted. I have called it a bunt. So let's see. I have one. 2, 3. 3 bunts, 2 of them in the final in the 8th inning.
Yes.
One right after another.
Well, they did a great job. I mean, their coach knew they could bunt. The runner was racing down the line for Ross to even release the ball.
Yep.
It's what's called a suicide squeeze
because if he doesn't make contact with it, he's out.
The runner's out at home.
Yep.
Yes, and they did an excellent job. So again, Rossville to 15-9. Blackford drops to 10-16.
Hats off to Rossville, and let's go ahead and wrap up this broadcast. This may be our final one. We want to thank everyone for listening in and watching, and we appreciate our sponsors. And please make sure you go talk to them. And if we do Monday's game, we'll definitely see you then. And then after that, football season will be the next time we'll be on the air.
The next time. Well, thank you, Steve. This is the first time I've ever done it. I was kind of nervous the first time I did it. Hopefully I got a bit better.
I understand the nerves. I was nervous doing it by myself as I traveled to a foreign land in North Posey.
Oh, yeah, I've never been down there.
Yeah.
Well, great job. Well, to everybody, good night. Final score again. In 8 innings, Rossville 4, Blackford 3.
And that'll do it for the day. And thank you again for listening. And if we are able to, we'll see or you can hear from us on Monday. If you just subscribe to Voice Sports Network on YouTube, you can get automatic notifications when the games are 30 minutes away, as well as when the game is starting the broadcast. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to look me up on Facebook. It's real simple. It's Steve Hurd. And I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have or any comments or suggestions. And we appreciate you listening and following along.
Yes, thank you, Steve.
We hope you enjoyed this high school sports broadcast on the Voice Sports Network. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
The preceding production is property of Voice Enterprises, and all rights are reserved worldwide. Thank you for listening to this production of Voice Enterprises, taking media in a new direction.